right. Hopefully you guys can hear me. We've had technical issues before, but hopefully you guys can also hear music. Still good. Mike. Damn it, I don't want to fuck up the timing. We're going live. VigilanteWilliamson here on the 24th episode of VW Casual, which is maybe reminiscent of another show I used to do, the flagship show, the formerly flagship show, the Vigilante Williamson show. Hopefully the music is going, the theme song is going, and I hope everyone's here. You can hear both. Shout out to Snow the Poopus. You know, Snow the Poopus, I just thought about something. What do you think about climate change? How do I sound? Because I'm trying to do something different with this preamp. Yeah, it is time for it. I'm going to turn the music down. I'm just going to ride out a little bit. Episode, Cold Era. And I'm glad you guys are here. You guys are the OGs. Finra, Ice Wolf. I know you've been working hard, not hardly working. It's been a minute, man. Love to stream with you anytime you got some time free, bro. Yeah, the music is back. I'm back on camera, which I haven't been in a while. I'm turning on the wrong music because I haven't done this in a while. But I hope everyone's cool, man. I hope everyone's having a good Sunday. Obviously, missed Saturday night. Did not stream. I have this fucking, hold on. I got a light, and I'm like, it's just in the way, so I have it on. One of these fucking ring lights. I don't think you can see it. There you go. It's bright as shit. And I'm like, it's just fucking the world up. Like everything else. Fuck this light. Fuck it. Hold on. Let me turn it off. Okay, I don't know. Technical issues. This is Vigilante Williamson. This is what you come to expect. No doubt. Climate change. My cousins hate it, but I'm stuck in Florida. It's always too warm here. I see. Well, it snowed. Hey, it snowed this past year in Texas, which, you know, I don't want to speak it out of existence either, but hopefully we'll be there at some point. Just turn the damn thing off. But I appreciate everybody here. Again, apologies for not streaming Saturday night, because that's become kind of the flagship show, my Saturday night show. I do want to do the Vigilante Williamson show again. We would probably be at close to 100 episodes, which would be cool. I want to get the background right, though. I want to get the background right. I also want to get my voice right. And if I'm too loud, let me know, because I feel like I am too loud. So I'm trying to turn. All right. Testing. All right. Let me know if I'm too loud. And thank you all for being here. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We have quite a bit to talk about. Because I also didn't do Thursday. I haven't streamed because I had technical issues stemming from Wednesday's episode of Culture Crime Fridays, which you can catch here on this channel. I had like really bad technical issues. I had to reinstall. I ended up having to reinstall my sound card. I thought I had deleted it and reinstalled it, but I didn't completely delete everything. So that's handled now. I didn't handle that till late on Thursday. And then yesterday I just overslept. But we still have a lot to talk about, a lot of things to touch on. And we are going to start that off with something we've been kind of following. Maybe we've been, if you consider this whole community fellowship thing, we've been kind of the lone wolves. Us and Yins. Us. It's just me. But me and Yins, I guess, have been the only one who had anything positive to say about Shang-Chi. Even though I'm mixed. I'm still mixed. Shang-Chi was not great, but it wasn't terrible. And I think what we've seen from Shang-Chi is, love it or hate it, it got positive word of mouth from the normies. The first 40 minutes are worth watching. I like them. It's to me a tailspin afterwards, even though Tony Leung, I'm probably mispronouncing the brother's name, he tries his best to keep it going. But Shang-Chi has surpassed Black Widow. A lot of people thought it wouldn't. It did. And it's the highest grossing film of 2021. I don't know if it's going to leave 2021 with that title, but it at least has it for now. We'll see. Venom comes out this week, doesn't it? Anyone who saw Venom, let us know how that was. The rest of the class, I should say. I'm talking like Venom with this shit. It's official. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings surpassed fellow Marvel film Black Widow as the highest grossing film of 2021 in the pandemic domestic box office. So I guess since the pandemic started, no movie has made more money than Shang-Chi. On Friday, the superhero adventure starring Simu Liu and his sister, or the character who played his sister, captured. That's not that much money. Oh, it's just Friday. Okay, 3.4 million, 3.5 million. I mean, just to pass Black Widow. So, but I guess Black Widow apparently, and with Disney numbers, all these are Disney numbers, so all can be taken with that grain of salt. But apparently, Black Widow made 125 million. So it's just interesting. I can go through the whole article. It talks about the movies that no one cares about. Just thought it was a lot of people. I thought this movie was very mediocre. Had some very, like I said, the first 40 minutes I'm very positive on. I think they're worth watching. Afterwards, it really tanks off. I think it really got overhated. I think a slow news cycle made Simu Liu the target of a lot of that. And then I didn't care what he said to Bob Chapek because it's Bob Chapek. Bob Chapek deserves. Anytime you initiate a bunch of woke regimes, hell, Bob Chapek was the CEO when ESPN was doing all the BLM shit. The CEO of Disney when rewriting Ripley happening. The CEO of Disney when Kathleen Kennedy fired Gina Carano. So he's at worst complicit with a lot of bullshit. So whenever the tables turn on him, good for him. Fuck him. I don't care who's doing it. Even though Simu, it can be a bit sensitive. He's a sensitive lad. But a lot of people wanted this movie to fail. There's no other way for me to put it. Or at least have a negative slide on it, and they'll just say, "Oh, it's one of the least successful Marvel films." So I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's gonna be one of the most successful movies of the pandemic. I mean, I'm not the guy to just call. Lord knows, I'm not the half full guy. I'm not the most optimistic guy or the spin cycle for anything Disney or anything woke. And this movie, especially with the feminism, gets kind of woke-ish, or at least unrealistic. But it's like, come on, guy. It's probably going to get about 400 million. I think it's at 300 and something. It's probably going to end up with 400, maybe even 500 million domestic. This is the worldwide when I'm talking about 400, 500. I think it's like close to 2 now. And it's just a BG level Marvel film. The MCU was never that good. That's really part of the problem. People look at the MCU like it was the original trilogy of Star Wars. It was not. It had some good films in it. It was a nice serial. It was fun. But you don't really want to watch these films. So then when they get to either a Black Panther or a Shang-Chi or some of these flawed movies, they want to really put the screws to them. Doctor Strange is not that good. Ant-Man has that little cool thing Michael Pena did, the little comedy thing. I don't remember anything else about that movie. And even something like fucking Age of Ultron wasn't that good. The MCU is littered with Iron Man 3 and 2, really. Littered with movies that aren't really that good. This is an average MCU movie. And I think people just, they laud so much. Yeah, I think Iron Man 2 has its fun parts. Iron Man 3, because of Tony Stark, Robert Downey's fun. But most of these MCU movies aren't really that good. A lot of these movies just all mesh together, and these movies are just equivalent to normies. Normies see this and say, hey, this is my average MCU experience. I'm happy with it. And they're like, oh, well, this. Normies don't give a fuck. Normies don't give a fuck. And a lot of them are getting tired of the MCU. I think I see a filmer saying that. But let's see hey, some of the people who've hopped in the chat. Oh, yeah, we already read the climate change, Snorter Poopers. I got opinions about the climate change issue, but I don't want to get too political because I hate it when humans chase me with brooms. Hey, you will not get chased with brooms here, Snorter Poopers. Your polar bear perspective is necessary for the climate change issue because they keep tossing pictures of you guys whenever they talk about it. They don't care about the Wookiees, though. They don't care about the Wookiees. Hell, Wookie. I just don't care anymore about the MCU, says Finra. Yeah, it was you. And yeah, a lot of people don't. A lot of people are tired of the MCU. Holly Wack knows how to cook the books. I don't think you can ever trust their numbers. Very good point. And even with these budgets, Wonder Woman 84 costs 200 million. How? How? I could see Shang-Chi costing 200 million more than Wonder Woman. I didn't care till I found out the lead actor Kidley Diddles. Oh yeah, the Reddit stuff. Yeah, that was weird. That was where he played a kid diddler. And yeah, likes. And this is Hollywood's field of I call them P3DOs. And this is kind of carryover from if any of you guys watched the Cocktail Lounge, talked about Tom Hanks, and I started a shitstorm with a simple comment was saying, "Man, after I don't look at Tom Hanks the same." And that threw a shitstorm. Now, I'll be honest, I've never delved into Tom Hanks' past like that because of the reputation of Hollywood. My point was as much of anything is like, man, Tom Hanks used to be this America's sweetheart type guy. And he was this character that he was kind of this beloved part of pop culture. And now when I think of him, I think some crazy, creepy shit. And it's because of Hollywood's reputation. In my head, I didn't need to delve in. I could be wrong, but I highly doubt that I am because of what I know about how Hollywood works. A lot of that stuff is a necessary evil, so to speak. But yeah, it's run by them. Absolutely. Run by some sick fuckers. The MCU is nothing but a huge normie fest that was made huge because they think watching it makes them nerd. I'm sick of it. Oh, I like that take. That's why I have not paid attention. Have you been making videos, man? Because I've been out of the loop of everyone. Because I've been starting my new job past few weeks. That's a great take. That's something you should do a video over. Amen, Wolf, amen. Hell, brightest day. Hell. I was actually thinking about you because you helped me with the retro game. And how about that for legal purposes? Because I don't know the legal place of emulators around, which I just said. But hey, could you hit me up about that? Because I need some help with a PS1 emulator. I don't know how to work it or get one. Hail Lord Thoth, our Canadian Egyptian god, lurking while getting supper ready. Supper. Thank you, Wookiee Supremacy. No, thank you, Fimmer, because that's a great point. Chinoculus P. How's the 200 running these days? Did I mention I had a 200? I might have. It's not this creepy. You got Hey from Brightest Day. Been making some videos. First stream with Agent Decibel. Try contacting you. Joined, didn't answer. I am sorry about that. Actually, let me check. Where did you try to on the Twitter? Because I'm terrible on the Twitter. If you want me to do something, you gotta, and you probably did. Sometimes I go days without checking my Twitter. Actually don't see it. I'm sorry about that. Either way, we got to stream. One of these days, I'll be on the stream, man. Where'd you get the old ones at? I got them at. A lot of them I already had. So I did mention. Okay, cool. Can't remember what I mentioned sometimes. Like, did I mention what the Vigilante Mobile was? Probably did. And I can't remember where I got them. No problem, bro. We can stream another time. Okay, man. Sorry about that. Yeah, my memory sucks. My memory sucks. My function sucks. Hell, I can keep up with some PS1. I'm sure I can find a Megatorn with games. All right, cool. And yeah, so let's get back into, I guess, some of the articles that we had. I had kind of a lot of stuff to talk about. We talked about the MCU. We talked about, I said the MCU really was never that good. Was it? What's the guy? Martin Scorsese. He was right. He was right when he called out the MCU. And Hail Parahip. You still check it out and leave a like. I will check it out. And everyone check out Fimmer's channel. You're a wrench filmer, so please promote yourself. Promote your channel so everyone can check it out. And everyone saying hi to Perry Ham. But yeah, the MCU is never that great. It was normie bait. Finmer had a great take. That's what kind of got us talking about his channel, which is a channel you should check out. And speaking of not only normie bait, they're assholes. So did you guys hear about that? I'm sure probably everyone had. This is kind of one of the bigger stories of the week. Marvel has countersued to keep its rights away from the Ditko family. The corporation, the people who had no impact in creating these characters, who have only seek to destroy these characters, but because they have the lawyer power, they're going to keep these characters and the money that they've made off of these, like I said, mostly mediocre at best movies, but they've made, billions upon billions of dollars, not including merchandise and Disney Plus. The MCU kind of held up Disney Plus. And the family of the Ditkos get nothing. Or the Ditko family get nothing. Just one day after the public was made aware of efforts from the estate of Steve Ditko to terminate the copyright claims to Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, Marvel has countersued both the Ditko estate and a number of creators who have filed similar lawsuits in an attempt by the publisher to retain their exclusive rights to an extensive number of their iconic characters, including the aforementioned two heroes and multiple Avenger members. So, basically, a bunch of people, and I guess this is out today, Venom. Thank you for semi-doxing me. Since everyone's just gonna know everything about me, shout out to being a YouTuber. As first reported, the Hollywood Reporter who claimed to view but did not make public, first replaced by attorney Dan Petroselli on Marvel's behalf. This thing will exit out. Okay, not exit. Let's get him keep coming back. Fuck you. Okay. Marvel's once renowned member, Comic Book B2, is seeking declarative relief, blocking that these blockbuster characters are ineligible for copyright termination as works made for hire. So basically, they would be works for hire, and therefore they couldn't get a copyright claim. Let's see what else. So I guess Jack Kirby did something similar, and the precedent was those characters were made as a work for hire, which more than likely these characters were, to be fair. And the whole work for hire thing is shitty. I think copyright law is very shitty. It's made to overwhelmingly favor big corporations. One, fair use. If you're looking from like our perspective of a content creator, of anyone, even me, I don't know if you can see the sampler in the back, but there's a sampler. Wants to sample music. It's restrictive for me to take your copyright. But if I am the creator of a work and something goes to a corporation, then it's very restrictive for me to enforce my copyright, even though I'm the creator. Because then it's like, oh, well, maybe a work for hire, or they may have ownership and this, that, and the third. I mean, how many artists don't have the masters and or ownership of the intellectual properties that they create? So this is something very shitty in corporate culture as a whole, and has been for so long. And when you talk about Disney and their lawyers, I don't see this going well for the Ditko family. It apparently didn't go well for the Curry family, but I think it's something bullshit. The Copyright Office that termination provisions are intended to protect authors and their heirs against unnormable agreements by giving them an opportunity to share later economic success of their works, allowing authors to or their heirs during a particular period of time long after the original to grant. Oh, okay. So the Copyright Office apparently has provisions for this. But let's see if there'll be a force against Disney. So, see what you guys saying. I like the first Iron Man. There's a few movies. Listen, the first Iron Man, I've said it before. First Iron Man, first Avengers, Infinity War. Those are all in Winter Soldier, and even like I said, the first Captain America is a was an honorable mention. So there's some movies in there, but a lot of them were just. Doctor Strange was okay. Ball Chick was weird, but whatever. MCU it had some good films. It had some good. Oh, yeah, gotta leave a like on Farrah's video. Farrah, did you promote yourself? Let me check. Yeah, I know it's impossible, but I hope Marvel loses. Lost for the Mouses, win for. So I would really hope that. I would love for creators to have more ownership over their works. I would love for corporations to not be so um incredibly enforced. Like, why is it that the creativity of America has to funnel through these corporations, and the ownership of that creativity has to be taken away from the individuals that do it and given to these corporations? And this is not new. This is not a comic book issue. This is a entertainment industry wide issue. Whether you're talking about music, movies, TV shows, books, whatever, everything is given so the corporation maximizes the profit off of the individual's work. And why is that the case? Because you have these restrictive copyright laws and it's a work for hire. All these provisions to defraud the not just the person who creates work, but if ever that work is to be used and manipulated in any way to create something new, well, now there's an issue. Oh, there's copyright strike on your YouTube video, lawsuit for your song is sampled, a snippet of something and you manipulate it to something else, and that's how copyright has been enforced, and that's been like that's a lifelong bottleneck on creativity in this planet, because it's not just America that does that. But yeah, I would really hope they lost. Cuddles called him Ditka. That's a different guy, Mike Ditka. That's strange. Oh yeah, we already said that. Hell's Axe. She was gender swapped. Yeah, because China didn't want characters in Tibet. I do remember that. She was the ancient one. Disney kept stalling with continents after continents until it settled. Is that what happened with the Kirby's or the Dickos parent had? Figures. Same hell. Cold Era. Your boy Zach said the lawyer is the same lawyer that lost Superman's lawsuit, and the corporation hired the same lawyer that won it for the mega. Okay, well what do you expect to happen? MCU had a lot of bangers. Even Ant-Man was fun. Ant-Man, like I said, I remember the Michael Pena bit where he kept having a screen. That was cool. It was fun. Part of that statement is someone who didn't like Guardians. A lot of people who love Guardians, that changes your whole perspective of the MCU. So if you love Guardians and you're like really high on like you said, Ant-Man is fine. A lot of these movies are just fine. But it's like I find if somebody said go watch Ant-Man again, I would do it. I'd be cool to do it. I probably would like it. But it's not something I would ever like really want to do. And Boogie says kill the rat. Referring to old Mickey, old Steamship Willie. Oh boy. Reading on Iron Man. Yeah, the first Iron Man is good. First, like I said, I got some movies I like. Yeah, everyone check out his channel. Can you are you a mod? Can you put your link? Remember? Disney is ruthless and greedy, absolutely. And evil. And evil. And hell KMFS. I forgot to say when you said came in. Hell Punk Waddle. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, Kai the Fun Maker. What's up? Snow the Poop is feeling tired. Normal for this old bear. How are you? Okay. Everyone saying hi to each other. Uh-oh. I ain't gonna put Kai out there in these streets. Yeah, the mouse needs to be beaten with a crowbar. I mean, I really wish we could do like I wish there was a creative AEW. And I know Lord knows this channel has had its run-ins with AEW before with the copyright strike they had on this channel for months, but it got removed magically when they started to sign a shit ton of wrestlers. They didn't want to fuck with a bunch of small YouTubers anymore. It's funny how that works. But all shit and said, I got criticisms of them. But what they provided was an alternative to normalcy in their medium. And the medium of professional wrestling, they provided something different. That there was a mainstream and they provided an alternative that can be viewed with some relative mainstreamness. And we'll see, they have CM Punk and all these other wrestlers. They have a game coming out next year. These things can make you mainstream. Excuse me, hold on. Don't want to sneeze in front of everyone. All right, sorry about that. I think it's just I didn't sneeze. I think it's just me not being used to wearing a mask. I haven't worn it so long. But like I wish there was an alternative to the mouse. Maybe the Rippaverse does it. Maybe Kai does it. Buy Space Crime Domino if you have it. Maybe maybe the collective. Maybe it's a land of 1,000 cuts. But I really think the rest of entertainment it needs to go through what music went through, where they're like in the and there's still a lot of major label influence, but there's a bigger market for independent artists now. That's a gift and a curse because now it's a trillion people competing for a few spots. But it's already been like that. So hopefully we can have a open entertainment industry. Yeah, let's get a like and share this bad boy out. Sharing is caring. Same here. Try not to get indicted. Hotline here at the Vigilante Williamson channel, and I don't know if everything's legal. Can't post your link. Oh, let me let's fix that. Hold on a second. Actually, let's get off camera just in case. Yeah, hop off camera real quick so I can make sure I'm on. I don't know how the hell that happened. Sorry about that, live YouTube. But back, I can still ramble about my point. As far as the mouse goes, as far as the mainstream entertainment that we rag on and talk shit about, and then hope some of it's good. I know there's high hopes from Dune as that's internationally released now, and I hope I've heard mixed to positive thoughts on Dune. I don't know if Dune was ever my cup of tea, but I still was interested in the climate we're in. We're in this terrible climate, so I'm like, maybe I'll check it out. Someone talking about Twitter. Twitter is indeed a shithole. And shout out to Brightest Day. Finra, looks like you are a wrench. Maybe he can't post this link because he's on mobile or something. And Brightest Day is a wrench because he's promoting my man Kai. And so Wookie Supremacy says he cares. He does his trolling on YouTube now. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I like the Winter Soldier too, Punk Waddle. As I'm about to get back on camera and back into the StreamYard, the evil StreamYard that fucked me up this week. Alrighty. Oh, sheesh. I get used to wearing this damn mask again. That's how long it's been since I've worn it. It's like, oh man, this thing sucks. This is why I wanted to get a new. There's a reason I wanted to get a new mask. I just totally forgot about it. And yeah, please buy Space Crime Domino. And yeah, who does care? Twitter is a shithole. Oh, Wookie. Oh, that's the relevance of I care. There we go. Yes, please like Femmer and check out his stuff. Disneyland is fun as triggering lefties. You know what? That triggering lefties. No disrespect to you. Hey, you're Wookiee supremacy. You do what you do. But I do think that's the quote unquote fun to be had from that has distracted a lot of stuff. Not to say it shouldn't be done because it has to be done. Because if you don't make fun of these idiots, what do you do? Speaking of idiots to make fun of, or maybe not make fun of, maybe be afraid of. If you have any children, did you guys see this shit? Yeah, it's a hard transition, and not that pun was not intended. In a Minnesota school board, there was a sex ed class that had students role play trans and gay relationships. Isn't that crazy? And I'm not, listen, when you say that, it's not like somebody's trying to be disrespectful to these groups of people. But why are you doing that? Why are you doing it? Wasn't the whole point of sex ed? Let's take the trans and everything out of it. The whole point of sex ed was we didn't want kids finding out about sexuality just from the internet and shit. Well, if the fucking school system is providing a 13-year-old dude bro level of tact with intimacy and sex, then what the fuck is the point of sex ed? Or in this case, it's still, like I said, dude bro level intelligence. Oh, let's just have them role play as if they're gay and trans. We'll talk about, there seems to be just this, we've talked about it many a time, but I saw a story, shout out to 24/7, he sent it to me. This constant push to normalize gay and trans, and there's nothing disrespectful to those people. Why are you pushing it on everybody? Why are you forcing? It's not like you're not just normalizing, you're trying to force people into becoming that. Why? Why are you doing that? What is the point of that agenda? Who's the, and I say you, I'm not even talking to those groups. I'm talking to the people who are pushing it, whether it's the politicians or the media or the people that bankroll them, and Emperor Palpatine, so to speak. But why are we and this is in public schools, and we slam the education system, it seems like, every week for a different reason. It's not just something to laugh at when it comes to these woke idiots. It's when they normalize this craziness. They've been able to normalize anything that doesn't worship lefties as white supremacy, regardless of the race of the person who done that, who does it. If you're not a hardcore Democrat, you're a white supremacist nowadays, and they've been able to normalize that shit. And just the same, if you don't want your kids role playing in gay and trans relationships and sex ed, you're homophobic. They normalize they normalize certain elements of the conversation, while a lot of motherfuckers is worried about memes and shit. Memes is cool, but I mean, you got to do better. If the point is to have society continue or have society go into a more I ain't gonna say conservative, just more common sense route, this shit has to stop. And this shit, the main thing is we have to be more aware of it. This is something, this doesn't take national news. This is a local story. This is for the Richfield Public Schools. It's just getting national attention, but it's for the people there. As fucked up as this is happening, and apparently there's a press statement saying that the district sexual education program claiming information shared by the media is inaccurate and misleading. So that they say it's not true. Let's hope that it isn't. I have a tendency not to believe that school system with the current climate. And this is again on the people, regardless of what's happening, this is on the people who are in this district. Those are the individuals who have any power in stopping this from continuing outside the district. So, all right, let's just read the disclaimer. We want to be legally fair. No activities in the secondary curriculum that have students role-playing situations in front of the entire classroom. Specific qualifier. There are two activities that ask students to work in pairs or small groups to practice in negotiation and assertiveness skills through scripted interactions. Okay. The district cited the National Health Education Standards, which doesn't mean shit because we know wokeness goes up to the federal level. It usually comes from the federal level, to demonstrate and practice refusal, negotiation, and collaborative skills. Okay, and will enhance and avoid and reduce health risks. That sounds like a word salad that kind of admits to it, but does it on technicality purposes, at least as I'm reading it. And we'll read through most of the story to see if that this kind of word salad-ish. Well, we did have them role play. The whole point was it's not in front of the whole classroom. So that's their real contention, because they did say that there's some scripted interactions. Oh, but it comes from this And this is really where it's scared. Let's say they're right. And these scripted interactions come from the national health education standards. This is you push back on that by pushing back on this local level. And it just shows how nefarious this shit goes. Using the classroom demonstrating. Okay, I already said that. Activists and parents spoke out earlier this week against the sex ed program used in Minnesota school districts. We talked about that earlier. It has role playing as LGBTQ partners. Parents are intentionally being deceived and misled about what their children are being taught. One speaker said at the Richfield school board meeting. Program like 3 R's, I don't know what that is, are not effective. This type of teaching has no place in our schools. The 3 R's program focus on rights, respect, and responsibility. Advocate youth and visions of society that view sexuality as normal and healthy and treats young people as a valuable resource. Whoa. That sounds creepy as shit. I would have to check the website to verify as what that says. Did everyone else catch it when I'll reread it? I'll just reread it and see if everyone else catches it. I know I can be conspiracy theory guy. I know I can see things when they're not. I want you guys to tell me, Vigilante, you're fucking crazy. Advocates for youth envisions a society that views sexuality as normal and healthy and treats young people as a valuable resource. Does everybody understand why I'm feeling like, whoa, what the fuck, when I read that sentence? And actually, I got to do more research into this group as we're talking about. I'm going to go ahead and go off camera. And let's see what you guys are talking about while I do that. Taste your tears is delicious. If they're already pissed off, what's the harm? Pumping up their blood pressure? It's focused. That's what I consider the harm to be. I mean, listen, do it. It's fun. And I mean, they're idiots. Role-playing relationships in class is weird. Full stop. Facts. The pedos, you absolutely want to indoctrinate a whole generation of little victims. That's why I was talking about with this advocacy or advocates for youth, which will research. Not weird. It's wrong. It deserves an open can. They're teaching that again. Yep. Memes is a good guy. Not memes as means of destruction. I mean memes as the concept. Unless that was a joke and I'm stupid. That's it. Vig, fear the label and apply liberally. Yeah. As far as I was talking about the white supremacy. This is some P3DO shit. I wonder if the teacher was recording it. Wouldn't shot me. They're freakies. They're freaks. This people could be solved by giving the parents 10 snips. Most of these are females. I need more than that. That's why I was thinking money on a female teacher. Wookie gets it. Yeah, most of it. And I haven't gotten far enough to check. Most of them are females. Industrial strength always works better. Ain't gonna, like I said, it's females. Yeah, you're a homophobe. You don't want female penis. It should be law for kids to take cameras with the link to the parents' phones and have parents' legal permission to sue for tissues in school. Now we're in fucking a crazy post-tech. Everyone sees everything for lawsuit purposes. That would be scary. That's like worse than social credit score. Okay, I'm on this advocate for youth. Let's check out this site. I finally put it up. I'm reading you guys stuff, and I'll get back into it. But our bodies, our lives, our movement. One guy and lots of they're black girls, but they have a bit of meat on their bones. We'll just keep it like that. So I'm looking for that sentence. Let's say young people understand reproductive and sexual health rights are linked to social justice and the fight for liberation. The way they word this shit, but I mean they can get a bunch of kids to believe into it. I actually agree with free to pill. But because of this I feel like you would eliminate abortions if you had more birth control. But this is neither here nor there. I'm looking for that sentence. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to find it. I'll check it about legacy. How about that? I think I would be searching online and for the rest of life for that specific sentence. I'll be searching for the rest of time for that specific sentence. And I realized I didn't come back on camera, which is probably a good thing. So I can search. All right. Fuck all that. Wish the post millennial told you what link, because you remember when BLM had that I forgot it. We don't want it was something that they didn't want fathers in the family. They said it in a creative word salad ass way. But community raising the children or whatever it is, reject the traditional family, and then they eliminated it. I wish there was a simple way to find out where that sentence was. And K through 12. This is a K through 12 curriculum. Do you think sex education needs to be K through 12? Sexual decision making. They want to tell you how to make sexual decisions. Do you think that's right? Do you want the government to tell your kids how to make sexual decisions and to get your kids to role play as certain LGBTQ groups in order to teach them how to make sexual decisions? Is that something you all are cool with? I'm just asking you. I don't have any kids. I don't have a horse in this race. I talk all the shit I want about the education system. It doesn't actually affect me directly. It does indirectly because it's teaching all the people who are going to make my food and pay for me when I'm in an old folks home with Social Security, if that's still around, if any of society is still around at that point. Jesus. This is crazy. Okay, in the lesson, the student is asked to pretend to be a male named Morgan, who's very active in his school's LGBTQ club. I didn't know schools do that now? I guess I mean, why not? While another student is asked to be Terrence, of course, as a brother, guy that emasculate black men. What do you think? Who wants to have sex with Morgan and is not publicly out as gay. That's what the rumor. They came with their little disclaimer, but this is still saying this is agreeing with their disclaimer. There's a role play. Morgan outlaws the plan for the two students to secretly meet, and they make a decision about whether or not to have sex. Again, this is the sexual decision making course. That what's the organization again that's pushing this? The National Health Education Standards. The National Health Education Standards have sexual decision making, and they're teaching your kids to be LGBTQ kids. I'm not saying anything that's non-factual. Are you guys comfortable with that? And do you guys realize that if the answer to that question, if you're comfortable with that, is no, that you are considered to be homophobic? You know that, right? And why that is the case, I couldn't tell you. Why I can tell you. I can tell you there's I couldn't tell you without sounding like Alex Jones. How about that? And we're going to see more to this agenda. And this isn't to say, oh, LGBTQ is wrong, right? That's not for me to tell you that. It's for me to say, why are you trying to make people, as many people that as you possibly can? And am I crazy for thinking that's what you're doing? And am I crazy for thinking now? I couldn't find this damn sentence that really suggested some P3DO shit. But am I crazy for thinking there's something nefarious about this? You guys let me know. I'm usually more animated. I want to just present the facts. You guys tell me. Tell me, Vigilante, you wild, man. It ain't even like that. So, and yeah, I've seen this research that I'm just looking in to see if there's any more in this article because it goes on for a little bit. But this sentence right here says, Quist says that no such explicit sexual education does not reduce STDs and teen pregnancies. It does not. It does not indeed. And this is more pushing. Shout out to 24/7. He said this. Now, before reading this article, there's a high smell of none of this really happened coming off of this story. And actually, before I even get into this article, I got to see what you guys thought about what we were talking about. It's like that thread, you're homophobe. Yeah, we saw that. Have kids in public schools, it's a good idea to run a teacher's name through the convicted sex offender list. I was doing that back when my girl was in school. The list is public. It shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Doesn't mean they'll be on there because those damn teachers unions. And hell, go Macau. Sean Fredo vibes coming from these people. Absolutely. It's not a conspiracy if it's true. I mean, conspiracy. The word conspiracy has nothing to do with validity or not. It just means you believe something conspiratorial is happening. And what's up, my nerd is now we got another sentient dildo avatar change. I don't know if the world can handle that. And there's where was they teaching that? They were teaching that in Minnesota. Minnesota's Richfield High School. Sorry, that wasn't Minnesota. But that's where they're teaching your kids that to role play as gay people as far as making decisions about sexuality. Got some buzz from a man sitting dildo. 10 snips for the men, nail clippers for the women. Yeah, you gotta. It doesn't say the gender of the teachers. This is a curriculum thing, though. This came from the National Health Education Standards. This wasn't just a teacher. This wasn't a rogue teacher. This was a nationally. It was a national thing. And what's up, Wookie? The problem is parents don't want to be bothered as a part of the kid's life. It's too late. A lot of parents just look at it as daycare. The education system is daycare, and they could give a fuck less about what they're actually teaching their kids. They yell at them if their grades are wrong, but they don't know how to help them, and they don't care. They just it's daycare. You do good, get good job. Parents don't know or care so much that, and that's kind of what they're trying to induce, really. A bunch of single parents who are too busy to care about their kids. Young people have been doing nothing but stupid shit. Male because they're all SJWs. A lot of young SJWs, unfortunately. Hell, Gomer. Talking about legacy like they're going to have kids. That's just hilarious. Phil with the shots. Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Very good point. Very good point. I don't think any of those people are going to have kids. Well, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised how many 300-pound lesbians end up pregnant. Weird how that happens. People saying, what's up? Love that. Disrupt the nuclear family. Yeah, I think that might have been the actual phraseology on the BLM site. Thank you, Zax. See, it does if you want an entire generation of sex victims. Yeah, that's unfortunately what they're aiming for. And honestly, they're further along in that than you would think. I talked about those teacher unions protecting predators. And Ascension Dildo. Everyone saying hi. So parents actually parent, the shit will continue. And how's the new job? The new job is taking a lot out of me. But I'm getting with it. Getting with it. I'm happy so far, though. I'm happy so far. Have a granddaughter and it's making me realize what feminist ideas I actually do have. Let's see. I feel for anyone with kids or grandkids in this world. So the Poopas even talks about, glad I don't have a cub, I'll be in jail already. Yeah, these people are evil. And they are going after your children. And we'll talk about that in the next article. I thought most people are okay with the idea we don't sexualize children because they have much to learn about life and before you add in that mess. But but they're pushing it throughout all the craziness in the world. And through this school system, through this wicked school system, the average person goes to work, sending their kids to school, hopes their kids get good grades, tells their kids not to talk back to the teacher, and they go about their life and they don't know what the kids are getting taught. A lot of key people woke up when the teachers didn't want, when this pandemic first started, when the teachers didn't want the parents to sit in on the lessons. They said, well, why not? When everybody had to be at home. Well, why not? Because they're trying to, the reason is because they have nefarious plans for our children. And they've had nefarious plans. They had nefarious plans for us. We were groomed. We were groomed to be to give birth to this generation of kids that they're fucking with, which is why we're all woke and we're all stupid. I'm technically a millennial, stupidest generation of all time. Stupidest, they ruined everything. Millennials ruined everything. Fenrir's still too young to have kids, but I got little siblings that any of them thought this shit. I can't guarantee what I'll do. I promise it won't be good. Yeah, it's really fucked up shit. Just suck the female PP, you bigots. Oh boy. That's what they want. Since you ditto, it's ma'am. It's ma'am. Be homophobic, just I don't give a shit, just stay away from my family kids. I'm a straight black man with balls and they'll never take them. I don't think it is actually homophobic to not want your kids to do this. They really shouldn't be role playing any relationships. And yeah, unfortunately, your balls are problematic to this generation. Masculinity is problematic. No, it's this bullshit. Call me a homophobe, I don't care. They're making kids that way to control us always makes our kids more weak so they can't fight back. Yeah. Yeah, and we'll get to it. Tyler, these parents are monster risking their kids' mental health like this. I don't think this story really happened. I think this is one of these bullshit plant stories, but that doesn't make it any more dangerous. We'll get into it in a second. I know lefties are usually down the whole agenda, but they don't dig kitty diddlers. They caught crap from their own. For unbelievably, they're still about the gender. What the fuck? Lefties, I don't know. I can't even just put it on lefties. People in general tend to be sheeple, but especially the modern extreme left or even the normies. Normies tend to just keep their head in the sand, man. And they don't want to believe nefarious things like that. They'll go out of their way to not believe nefarious things. Especially because they, if you believe that, you're an Orange Man supporter. And that's, oh man, that's sacrilegious. But yeah, both parties, yeah, absolutely. But I think what it is, man, parents are too busy to actually know this. Unfortunately, the knowledge of how corrupt the education system is not common. That's not a part of the national and international consciousness. That there's something right in Denmark by our schools. That's not. It's not widespread. It may be widespread amongst us, but the average person doesn't realize that. They have no earthly idea. They're still going to go into debt with their kids to send them to one of these indoctrination camps we call colleges. Yeah, both parties are perverse. All these motherfuckers are evil. Usually don't agree, but the way they're implementing this stuff is greeted with the eye roll from the kids that you expect. Probably, but they're still pushing it. And code era. Yeah, kids are a lot of kids are gonna like, what the fuck is this? But I mean, Steven still talking back to the teachers would be a good idea these days. You guys remember how you reacted to the abstinence? It's the best policy approach. That was before my time. They wasn't telling us that. Kids are more dumb now. But I mean, they're starting. Well, we're getting to the Tyler thing. They're starting to normalize this shit anyway. The whole point is for them to just like, okay, some kids will. Some kids will. If you keep pushing, what they're trying to do is by the time your kid hits ninth grade, he's been taught that being LGBTQ is superior to being straight for 9-10 years. And so by the time he hits that, of course, he's probably already with this. And that's not to dispute, if that's what you are, but they're trying to influence so that happens as often as possible. So is it going to, I mean, you might be right for a vast majority, but it's still another land of 1,000 cuts situation. And like I said, we'll get into them with the toddlers in a second. And hell, dope stilo. Started decades ago. Don't discipline your kids. You hurt their feelings, stunt their creativity. Yep. Yeah, don't spare the rod. The rod versus the child, says Punk Waddle, tells all his time. We're outside the cave is scary. Most people never venture out. Very true. Very true. They might be, but I don't see any Republican acting out scenarios in schools. Very true. Hell, Kelly D. With this looks like a Bret Hart. Shout out to Bret Hart if that's what that is. But then you got the Superman eyes. She ain't gonna make people live LGBTQ stuff, it'll probably make them hate it. And the kids they try to hypnotize will probably hate it with a passion. That's actually what I do predict happening is that backlash to kind of go off the eye rolling point. But again, that their plan is to your kid will be hit by this so often that will even if 90% of them eye roll, if another 10% from each class each year, you know what I mean, adds up or small whatever the percentage is, they're willing to do it, and it probably is going to engender a backlash if it hasn't already. You're welcome to stay. Of course, you'll be forced to obey. So your human rights are swept away by free education. What's that from? Loose cannon. I'm not as musical smart. It's amazing how education has little to nothing to do with how to balance your checkbook or have a decent work ethic anymore. Yeah, even when I was a kid, they didn't teach me any of that stuff. Why don't they teach personal economics? Because they want you in debt. They're trying to engender us to be a specific type of citizen from this education system anyway. Man. Go account. I mean, it'll always be easily influenced people. Make sure you know your kid. Absolutely. That's really what the point is. This is a call to parent your children because if you don't, the state will. The pendulum always swings back just as hard. We'll see. We'll see. And maybe since Dildo's talking about the LGBTQ support, lowest in a decade, I wonder why. Yeah. So there's something to this. Me. Oh, that was you. Pretty good lyrics, bro. Bars, as the kids say. Loose cannon / what too. I'm trying to do music. You guys might see like little musical equipment ads in the back because of me looking that shit up. Yeah, people are tired of this shit. You guys are right on that. I still worry about the long term. And really the cultural normalization. There's a lot of stuff people are tired of, but the narrative is X, and that's what gets enforced. You know? Aren't people tired of these restrictions for the pandemic? Yes, there are people actually in the streets. We don't see them on the news because the narrative is X, Y, Z. So they nullify that. We're living in the shittiest generation of humanity. Everyone is stupid and can't be normal. I mean, we're living in one of probably the most controllable generation of humanity, and they have a lot of us under control. They have a lot of normies under control. And this is one of their methods. Let's get into this. You guys saw this earlier. It's Tyler story. This is from Insider. It's written by Anonymous, so that's my first clue into this is bullshit. This is not the point that is bullshit is almost not the point. This article exists in the headline is my Tyler came out as trans at 4. He's so much happier now. They post articles like this by Anonymous. Again, I don't personally believe that this article actually happened. I think this is a bullshit, especially because there's no name to it. This is a bullshit puff piece to reinforce their agenda. But this is their agenda. You know what I mean? They are trying to make, Alex Jones talked about they turn the freaking frogs a certain way. They're trying to turn your freaking kids a certain way. Why? I don't know. And they're also trying to sexualize your kids at an early age, by the way. So we'll read this article. You guys can tell me what you think. I think it's all bullshit. I think it's one of these fake puffs pieces that we saw. Can't think of the demon lady's name. But we saw this writer of Cosmopolitan admit that they would make up stories to try to encourage girls to be thoughts. And so they the same way are making up stories to try to encourage mothers to force their kids to be trans. But let's get into this. Tyler came out as trans at age 4, and he's so much happier now. By Anonymous. Okay. Son came out to us as trans at a very age. Giving him a boy haircut made him so happy. Solidify his real identity. Feel overwhelmed for what others might say, but my son is much happier than before. Okay. The inside of the cake is pink. We're having a little girl, I shouted. Fast forward a couple years, and my toddler is letting me know that he is, in fact, a boy. At first, I kind of just shrugged it off, assuming this is another one of those toddlerisms. My older child is dinosaur at 2, and my second is a boy. So this is, again, Vigilante's opinion is fake. The reason this paragraph exists is to dismiss in your mind this is probably the biggest argument against kids that young coming out as trans. It's like, okay, kids just do whatever, which is a logical argument, by the way. And so if my analysis of this article is correct, I did pre-read it. If and I could be wrong. The reason they have this part of the article to say, "Oh, I shrugged it off as a tolerism," is to let the very weak-minded of the people, because you guys are. I think we forget that the weak-minded exist and how weak-minded they are. There are weak-minded single mothers who want clout and have no problem justifying their kid as trans, and that's who this is marketed towards. So they can say, "Oh yeah, yeah, the kids do know what they want when it comes to that," because of articles like this. I don't want this hair, my almost 3-year-old told me. When asked what haircut he liked, my toddler enthusiastic say he wants his haircut like his older cousin Will. I was hesitant to charge down his path. I redirected and asked if he wanted a girl bob instead. It was quickly rejected. At 3 or 4, I'm not a parent. I don't know. I mean, aren't you starting to like comb and brush and style your girl child's hair? I mean, you really wouldn't be cutting it at all, right? It may be like trimming, but like to give a haircut to a 4-year-old girl, you would be just styling and trimming and maybe braiding it, whatever. I don't know. Don't have kids. No little vigilantes going right now. You guys let me know in the comments. Those with kids, I know with kids, grandkids. So pressed on with the bob style, almost pushing to the point of tears, and I decided to follow my gut and give my child what I knew was needed: pictures of the little boy haircuts. Yes, that one. The joy and validation were evident on his face. We filmed my kid's reactions to seeing himself post-mirror cut, and I rewatched it nearly 3 years later. Wait, how old is this kid? This is what I mean. This shit is fake. I thought this kid was 4. Your kid at 1 could pick out haircuts? Or is the kid supposed to be 7 now? Get your shit straight. Watching my child see himself in the mirror the way he described his mind, pure gold. There's nothing else to describe it beyond beautiful. I think I knew before then it was overwhelming to digest. How much more of this shit we have? Jesus Christ. Okay. We'll get through it. It was overwhelming to digest. It was that moment solidified the knowing. My son started, again, this is supposed to be a female born child, or FAAB, female assigned at birth. My son started telling me he was a boy a few months after he turned 2. Start using his affirmed pronoun around age 4, and it took some time for our language to catch up. With our hearts. Okay, that flowery. This is not real. This is not real, but this is marketed towards weak-minded people. I have a hard time buying this story at all. There've been some gray areas along the way, figuring out where we could course correct, how we navigate the path of having a trans son, but I know we're on this path for a reason. I learned the pink color of our cake wasn't wrong because boys can have pink cakes too. We guessed our son's gender prematurely. Oh boy. The short hair turned quickly into quotes, boy clothing and underwear. From sitting peeing to trying to stand while peeing, that's got to be a mess. From she, he pronouns to he, her, or he, him pronouns. From the name we chose our child to the name he chose himself. Again, it's supposedly a 4-year-old, even though there's some funkiness about the age. I felt often I'm drowning in motherhood. So this person now confirmed their gender as a woman. Because remember, they're anonymous. In the early days of new parenthood, I was overwhelmed by nursing all the time, many wake-ups throughout the night. Next stage of parenting, cell phone, social media, romantic feelings, puberty, it all overwhelms me. This is all, again, I guess they're just charting out their kid's life. Layer of thinking about what other people may think when they learn my child is trans. They'll have contemplating the judgments and gossip not only at the school, but anywhere to go. Oh boy, it's so easy to let these thoughts slip in my mind when I read the headlines of parents fighting other parents because their trans kid wants to play on a non-trans kid's soccer team. Well, there's a physical advantage to that. Or when I've seen near panic attacks explaining our situation to friends we haven't seen since my son's pronouns and name changed. Then there's when I had to heartbreakingly watch grandparents pause when they need to say pronoun in conversation and awkwardly choose no pronoun at all. What? It's heartbreaking when they choose no pronoun to not be. This is bullshit. Earlier this year, a woman who knew my child back when he used she/her pronouns casually asked me which pronouns they should go with around our son, and a simple acknowledgement filled me with hope. Another tip. I think this is bullshit. Meeting my son has been humbling and truly sacred. Sacred. Oh boy, we'll get into the divine transgender. Baphomet worship question mark. I'm amazed by him every day and so grateful we're on this path together. I've gotten to meet the real him. Okay. So I don't think this story is real. I think this is a plant. I could be wrong though. I could be dead wrong. Dead wrong. But they are coming for your children. That song that the San Francisco Gay Men's Choir sung a few months ago. That was a work. That was not a work. That was a shoot. It was real. They are coming for your children. Whether or not that article is real, I could be wrong. That article could be 100%. Article could be 100%, and that article could be 100% a true story about somebody whose kid at 4, even though again there was some fuckery with the age and fuckery with their own story being consistent with the age, but at 4 said that they were trans, and this flowery depiction and it's dismissing of they're just a toddler. The first paragraph was dismissing toddlerism. My one child wants to be a dinosaur, my other child wants to be a boy. So the weak-minded, because that's who a lot of this shit is for. It's not for the people who ignore it or roll their eyes at it and go about the day. It's for the people who are weak-minded, of which, again, they've been grooming us. They groomed our generation to create a huge population of weak-minded ass single parents, particularly single parents. The reason I say that is because if there's another person's input to go along with it, you know what I mean? Not that there couldn't be two woke ass parents to go along with it. Surely can. But usually there'd be some conflict. You would like to think there'd be a little bit conflict from the male. Hell, there was a custody battle about one of these kids, right? Where they were the mom was trying to make him trans and the dad wasn't. I think it was in Texas. So yeah, that's a disturbing story. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it's true. Hell, one rough girl. I'm trying to go up into the chat to see. Oh man, the weight down must be here because I see somebody saying hi to him. Yeah, there's a weight down. It's little by little. Okay, well, let's see what you guys had a lot to say. I've been rambling for a little bit. I saw white women online claiming that Tyler is trans many times. Yeah, it's becoming a thing. It's becoming a cultural thing. And they're trying to continuously encourage that. It's anonymous because this person doesn't actually have kids. Someone searched their name and find out it's just people have no family or friends, just cats. Probably. And Gomer saying, what's up to Loose Cannon? Is a narrative for you. My teenager school. Big fight last year. Instead of dealing with why it happened, the kids were threatened with suspensions if they share video for it. Isn't that interesting? I would have shared the fucking video, man. I get to not go to school. Shit. Hey, Wookie wasn't trying to get you shit the other day. I know why it's making other nations weak and defenseless. That's why. Yeah, and isn't it interesting at the same time? We have China eliminating that from their trying to eliminate that whole thing from their cultural ethos, from their cultural zeitgeist. Make their men more masculine. Maybe the cats are trans. Could be. But they used the stock picture from Getty's of a boy, so I don't know. Word up. Yeah, make kids weak so the overlords can take over and slave us easier. Which I don't see why. I mean, we're pretty enslavable as we've seen from the past year and a half. Q-Bird, bet your kid would be vegan in today's climate. We talked about climate change with him earlier. You want to hear good economics and civics talk? Watch Tucker Carlson and Richard Dreyfuss interview. Really? Richard Dreyfuss? It's great. I would have never guessed. Exactly. South Park did an episode on metrosexual men in the 90s and 2000s. It was hysteria. The women were into it until the men were all useless and the women had to step up. All the minutiae is meant to be swept under the rug. Agreed. Little by little. And you got my man, first my girl, rough girl, and my man, the weight down. Both hopping in the chat. Well, so many other countries are fighting for better education, so people that know what's going on and want the ability to be a part of the conversation about education and government, says Punk Waddle. Think about the men of draftable age right now. You want those sissies defending the country? They all we got. They all we got. So there's some masculine people of this generation. I remember that one was funny South Park episodes because they spoke the truth. What's up? What's up? And everyone say hi. These disgusting humans are leading witness by asking small children what they want and presenting with them the worst options to choose from is grooming via parent. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. A lot of this is grooming via the parent. I've covered on this channel many times different little articles. Oh, we need to introduce our children to kink. What? It's demonic, really wicked. You guys talking about South Park? Should be illegal with a penalty of well, you see what it says there. South Park is willing to admit when they're wrong, like they did a whole apology episode to Al Gore. Didn't see that, but I'm not a big South Park guy. Hello, oh. Simpsons get creepy enough when South Park episodes start coming true. We're in trouble. Yeah, a lot. I mean, South Park, Family Guy, a lot of that stuff has predictively programmed some stuff that's right. Didn't Simpsons get Trump? They even got the escalator. That's creepy, man. I blame men. This is what you get when you let white women run wild. You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Cinch and Dildo. If you anybody who watched the fucking MF for Cocktail Lounge, and I say Christian Wiig looked good for her age, and Culture lost his mind. Listen, women are beautiful, but like our simping for them endlessly has caused some of this, right? We talked about the fucking comic book writers. A lot of these women got into that industry because of a bunch of fat beard cucks, to quote EVS, a bunch of fat beard simps who just wanted to get some ass. It's like it's okay for people to be assessed logically. You know what I mean? You don't have to women are beautiful and wonderful. You don't have to tell them at every fucking moment that they're the most beautiful and wonderfulest ever. You can be real with them because they'll sure as shit be real with you. And why women have been running fucking wild. Fucking wild. If you want to tell me a group that's done more destruction to society, I'm all ears. But I could not think of one more. Because it's through them, and no disrespect to the Islington Girl, any other white women who watch, I know Kaylee D, any other white woman, it's not disrespectful to you, some, not all, but it's through that group that they are able to get some of the most nefarious things in culture normalized. They are trying to they've normalized eugenics through abortion via this group. They're trying to normalize, really, P3DOism through the LGBTQ push. And P3DO, if you write that out, you can see what I'm trying to say. And they're trying to use, and it's all through that group. Doesn't mean that everyone in that group goes along with it. It surely doesn't. But it is through that group or misleading that group that a lot of this wicked shit comes true. And we'll also talk about a member of this group. Well, I guess they're not why. But then they're not the race they were purporting to be. Boys to Men, X-Men. Oh yeah, I did not bring up the X-Men thing. Starting to agree, Dildo. Yeah. These people are ruining the next generation of kids and will fuck the world up. We need to give boys more masculinity. I agree. We need more masculine boys. We need more masculine people, masculine men, not less masculine women. You have a point. Yeah, X-Zays. I forgot all about that. We can talk about that toward the end. I forgot to, because I want to get to everything. I may go off camera in a little bit because it's mask. It's killing me. Let me just do it now. Mask's killing me. And I want to make up for lost time. Like I said, I missed 2 shows this week. So we got at least another hour, probably more than that. So I appreciate anybody who's here. Thank you all. It looks like we got 18, 19 people in the chat, quite a few people in the chat. Please like and share and sub and all that good stuff. Help a brother out. Help him out. Get him some subs. We always lost this fight unless things get violent. I hope they don't, but I think they need to. I don't think they need to. We talked the first article, and I don't think you were here. We were talking about the school system in Minnesota that yes, it did come from the National Health Sex Study, whatever the fuck it was called. But they had these kids role playing out LGBTQ relationships in their sexual decision making section of the course. Now it became national and all that other shit to the it was on the post millennial. I don't know how national went outside of that, but really it came down to the individuals in that school district. Had they at that individual level pushed back before it got to that point, it doesn't get to that point. You don't need to be violent to do that. You know what I mean? I think a lot of this comes from, and it's said many a time, well, the non-socialist left, we have to work. We're busy. And so as a result, we allow them to just set the table. And we have to be more active, especially those of ours with children. Soccer was a little hoo-hoo anyway. Yeah, you guys say, well, I don't think it has to be, man. If we get on our shit, we don't need a punch doesn't have to be thrown. Being metrosexual seems so milquetoast these days. Yeah. Boomers, I hate my wife. Gen X, my wife left for my kids. Millennials, my wife left. My wife left me for a woman. Gen Z, y'all getting wives. When I was 3, I was learning how to wipe my ass properly. Yeah. Shortening the bill streams 45 minutes. Can't do full bill streams. Take too much out of me. I see. They're all in love and dying. They were doing it in Texas. Oh man, Marketing 90s in here. There's a lot of people in here. I'm sorry if I missed your chat. And yeah, I wanted to be Batman. And I had the Batman big wheel, man. I was riding down the Batman big wheel down the block unsupervised in Detroit, and there was no fear for my life. People don't even believe that shit now. I promise you it happened. I remember they're coming for our children. 87% of that choir had criminal records. I tried to look to verify that, and I couldn't verify that, so I didn't run with it. But I did hear that. But I wanted to. I always like to, if I can find a fucking smoking gun, I want to present it to people. I wasn't able to, so I didn't really run with it. Bro, I wanted to be Magneto and or Wolverine. It preferably both. Like, could control my claws and use them for that. Because that was the big problem whenever Wolverine fight Magneto, he's fucked. What if you could do both? So sorry if I don't get to your chat. Please blame my head, not my heart. You guys are pretty active today. Gotta check out that episode, man. Bear Pig is real and killing people. They asked him for help, and he's like, I thought Man Pig wasn't real. Matt Fraction. Yeah, tigers are beautiful too. Try keeping one in your house though. Yeah, that's I agree with that. Hell, even beat up Satan in a badass fight, man. Bear Pig. Do not come. What the hell is happening in the chat? Hell, New Bomb Turk. Hell, New Bomb Turk. And welcome. Gotta welcome Kai. Man, Bear Pig, 3 man. You guys are talking about what you call it? South Park. Why women and white women are not the same thing. There you go. There you go. Chicks are crazy. Not all, but a lot. Very true. Our disappointment in Carton didn't come face to face with Xmas critters. Free your face. I haven't watched South Park. You guys all South Park. You were abused, wolf. Okay, I'm lost. I remember when lumbersexuals were a hipster trend, but now it's just a lot of beard grooming products covering their soft faces. The bullies stop bullying. Adversity builds character, and kids in school don't have that anymore. I don't know if that's it. I think kids don't have fathers. I think that's more than the bullies. They have no fathers. They've normalized fucking single motherhood. And there's nothing wrong if you're a single mother, God bless you. But that's not the best way to raise a kid. And you can't just have all society that do that. So the fact that there are no fathers, who's going to teach these kids anything? You can have a bully to a kid with nothing. He's just going to become a soy boy, just the same. He's just going to get his spirit broken and just not give a fuck and not even care. So I think that, and because I think bullying still happens. I think kids still get bullied. We think they don't. They do. We surely see it from the teachers. I really think it's the lack of fathers to teach them when they are bullied, to teach them when they are facing adversity to get back up and to fight. That's my theory. That's my 2 cents. Yeah, shout out to Norm. Fair enough viewpoint. Adversity simply learning what you believe by the world pushing back, not even malicious intent. I don't even see kids getting that. I said, I think a lot of it. I mean, because I think we do have that tendency to look at a certain group of kids. Like we look at maybe the kids around us, and we forget that not all the kids are the kids around us. There's a lot of the single mother thing is huge. So you got a lot of kids who are basically raising themselves. Their phone is raising them. They have little to no supervision. This is the generation of parents. You might be 28 to 30 with the 12 to 14-year-old. You're still on Instagram. You're still on Snapchat trying to get attention. That's the generation that kids we having. So yeah, a lot of them are still getting bullied. A lot of them are still facing that adversity that we think they're not, because we just see them all with iPads and those little skateboards and think everything's sweet with them, not knowing they are still going through that shit. They get shit happening on Facebook, whatever they're going through, but they don't have anyone to teach them how to get past that, so they just get broken by it. I don't think that they're not facing the same amount of adversity. I would disagree with that. I would say they're just not facing anyone to teach them how to get through it. Bring back swirlies. No, that's disgusting, man. If you gotta shoot the fair one, win or loss, okay. Swirly's gross, man. We're supposed to be civilized. Lack of fathers is screwing up kids. So Fenway agrees with me. Tyler Durden was right. He was right. And then there's other kids who just saying to their kids when they come of age, absolutely. Lack of good fathers, plenty of shit fathers messing around their kids, absolutely. Shit fathers too. Had both parents, cannot fathom not knowing both sides. I imagine it could be horrible. A lot of people don't. I've never met my father. Fake geeks decide all the things they thought were dumb looked cool. So they wanted to be cool. They turned the geek stuff cool. You can't be a bully in a fair fight. Sucker punch them, a dry Glowstone with a tire iron. Maybe the last one's a wee bit extreme. I tried to hit a kid with a glass bottle when I was like 6, so I don't know. But I was in Detroit. Swirlies build up your immune system. That's probably not untrue, but it's still gross. The boys even fight with their friends anymore. We used to do that for fun. I remember slap boxing. People used to do that shit. I was all slow. I'm getting slapped up. I was getting slapped up back in them days. Those were the days. All right, let's I guess let me first put a button on this whole Tyler story. I don't think this story is real. I think there's a lot of tales that it's not real, but I could be wrong. And regardless of whether or not this is real, this is definitely the plan. This is definitely them trying to normalize this shit. This is definitely them trying to let you be the child and your parent, or your child be the parent. When you're paying bills for your kid, that kid has 18 years to deal with whatever the fuck you say. Come hell or high water, they have to listen to you. And this is more of the state interfering with that. And I say, oh, it's just an inside article. No, it's just a state sponsored. It's a state sponsored, bro. Having a real active father figure gives kids an upper hand and advantage. Apparently, that's what I hear. Yeah, I would say every kid needs 2 good parents. Every kid needs 2 good parents. And nobody's perfect, but if you have kids, do your best to be one of them and keep the other one in the life, regardless of what happens between you two. Said it before, I'll say it again. The problem is not enough people remember what it's like to get punched in the face. These new generations don't understand that actions have consequences. I agree with that to some extent. Because I think the Instagram anger argument shit where you can say something stupid over the internet and not get punched, that has really trickled down the past few generations. Kids threw glass bottles at me like Jackie Chan. Okay, thank you for not making me feel bad. They made me feel bad as fuck. Kid should have, man, fuck, I missed. Fuck that kid. I knocked my bully off stage with a medicine ball and never picked on me again. Wasn't that rough for kid? I slammed one kid's head. I got fucked up plenty as a kid. Don't get me wrong. I slammed one kid's head in front of the teacher because he ran in front of the teacher and smiled like he was good. I said, "Fuck all that, fuck all that, man." I'm going to the principal office on this one. Just if he didn't smile, I don't know if I'd have did it, but that smile, like I'm safe. It's like you're not. Slapbox will turn to real fights sometimes, though. Yeah, some wrestling matches. One guy I knew was a real wrestler. That scared the shit out of me. That made me never want to go to prison because he pinned me down. I had no control. I was like, whoa. And we were joking because you joke dumb shit like, well, we can take advantage of me. I was like, I never want to go to prison ever, unless I go through a fucking wrestling camp with America Top Team or some shit. Broken nose is a lesson learned. Learn how to fight and made friends with the bullies after fighting them. Turn your head, lesson learned. For real, to wait now. I'm an old fart. It will take 50 Zoomers to fight off one of me. Probably these Zoomers. I mean, it's a few. Mike Tyson said the best social media helps idiots get away with saying stupid shit and not have to think about the consequences. I agree with that, Femmer. Being able to respectfully clash with some set of respecting rules, how a lot of us bonding with friends even without punches, pushing back on each other's ideas and challenging them. Man, doesn't it suck with this ideological separation of the quote unquote hashtag right and hashtag left, even though the right sucks? Hate the Republicans did something. I forgot what it was. It did something that pissed me off. I already forgot. We all fought all the time as a kid. Shit, you were wild as a kid. I really wasn't, man. I really wasn't. Slap boxing always gets closed fist eventually. A lot of time it did. Yeah, fuck red, fuck blue. It was. I think it was something related to guns that a lot of Republicans just were cucked as usual. Speaking of Democrats and Republicans, though, this is an interesting story. And a Miami Beach candidate is skewered falsely for claiming she's Hispanic. Christian Rosen Gonzalez now says she unconsciously told them leaders she was the most high-profile Hispanic Democrat or Democrat, if you will, in Miami Beach. Real quick, I wanted to do something else to go into the women attractiveness thing. I remember Kristen Wiig is attractive for her age. Look at the lies of these pictures. I keep talking about how these women get their makeup tutorial. This is the same woman. Look at her now. Granted, she's being recorded with a potato, but then look at her hair. See what I mean? These girls get a makeup tutorial. They be having you believing in myths. But that's neither here nor there. That's not what we're here to talk about with this demon. Kristen Rosen Gonzalez. She's a Democrat, something or another in Miami Beach. And she says that she's the highest profile Hispanic Democrat in the city, and she's not even fucking Hispanic. She was forced to apologize and called it a mistake. It's reported. It's being reported. No, it's on video. Hopefully they got the video. That I called myself Hispanic. Clearly I misspoke. I deeply apologize to anyone that offended. Later told the Miami Herald editorial board she's always identified politically as Hispanic. What? What is that? What the fuck? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? I identify politically as Hispanic. I identify politically as the winner. Therefore, I'm the winner. What? I apologize and said I'm obviously not Hispanic. Rosen Gonzalez married a man named Emilio Gonzalez in 2001 and took his last name and kept it, even though they divorced in 2009. So this woman couldn't even be a wife long enough to keep the guy's last name and just kept it because she was in Miami and she thought it would be friendly to the Hispanic view. Oh, she speaks Spanish fluently, but doesn't make you Hispanic. Damn straight it doesn't. So they were shocked. They were like, oh, come on, bitch. And Marina Elena Lopez, the Miami-Dade Democratic Party or Democratic Party, was part of the Zoom interview. and said, by keeping a Hispanic name, you're trying to confuse voters. That's what she said to Rosen. The former commissioner seemingly tried to capitalize on her last name on the campaign trail. She'd been accused of having Gonzalez blown up in larger letters than the rest of her name on posters and signs. This just shows how dumb they think the voters are. And this is how, again, politics are fucking local. Everyone wants to, we need to go into the fucking everything blazing. No, what's going on right near you? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of voters don't even check to see if Gonzalez is a Gonzalez and just vote off the strength of that. This bitch exists. You know what I'm saying? So if you're in these areas, you need to know who the fuck is running things. So you know if something like this couldn't have happened otherwise, unless she had been able to get away with it. Because what is this Lex site? She was at some point something. What was she? I can't read the site. I thought she had won the chair like 2018 or something. Won whatever spot in 2018. Is this the video? Yeah, here's the video. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Let's play the video.
And I think that being the most high-profile Hispanic Democrat in the city of Miami Beach, I mean, if the party were to endorse one person.
She sounds like she's from Minnesota. The highest profile Hispanic in Miami Beach. That's what she called herself. Your Dolezal syndrome. It's a lot of that. Even AOC identified as black at one point. Real quick, Snorter Pooper said, one time my friend was about to get attacked by two guys. I drove up to him in my car and wagged my finger at him. Friend hopped in the car, off we went. If you see a fucking polar bear drive up and wag his finger, you're not fucking with whoever you were chasing. I don't give a fuck what the conditions are. Like, nope. This polar bear can fucking drive. We don't want no smoke. They win. They win. You imagine you getting into a fight with somebody, you chase somebody, and a fucking polar bear drives, pulls up, wags his finger like, like, fuck this. We're out. This fight's not worth it anymore. I don't give a fuck what happened. Fucking driving polar bear. But yeah, her. Yeah, we talk about the looks, filters galore. Yeah, this is the same. It was like, whoa. Be lying. I was at Tech Theater, start playing bass guitar, play punk and ska. I'm thinking about getting a bass. The Democrats are always pulling cultural appropriation. That's why they try to make this shit. That's why they try to victimize nationalities and race so much, so they can then appropriate those nationalities for advantages. You know, we talk about white women. One of the biggest, I think they are the biggest recipients historically of affirmative action dollars have been white women. So we need affirmative action for black people, and then white women just take it. What I meant to say was Miss Panic. Hell, Docilo. That's why they had to declare that white people don't have a culture. It'd be too difficult to explain all the appropriation of white culture. Yeah. I identify as a roast beef sandwich. I identify as a Latvian. Shout out to Dr. Doom. Freedom for your people. Misama Beach is a loony. There's a long conservative Hispanic voting bloc there that might backfire on her. Hopefully it does. Tasty. The woman married the guy because of his Hispanic name. These people do shit for power. Like they are demons. That's why I call them Democrats. They are indeed demons. Yep, the Dolezal syndrome. You can take that word like eye assistance. They're like, they are demons. Yeah. I did when I read it. I politically identify as BBC. Yeah, I politically identify as Hispanic. Can you believe this shit? Where's my wig? Huh? Isn't that cultural appropriation? Oh God, that voice high, whining, and white. Jesus. Sounded Minnesota. Sounded really Midwestern. Like northern Midwest. Not even like like above the Wisconsin-Illinois line, like Minnesota, Wisconsin. Like that's what she sounds like she's from. I don't know. I didn't deep dive her like that. Dating up in high school, like no one grows out of junior high politics anymore. Very true. Turn her around. If she don't got a dump trunk, she ain't Hispanic. Well, there's some flat ass Hispanics, and there's some white girls that's packing. So that, you never know. I know too many assholes of different colors to pin that shit on race. That's where I come from, man. I've met so many shitty people of all different nationalities, colors, and creeds. Human beings suck. Got into a fight with Dilla. Was in Dearborn, Michigan. Shout out to the Metro Detroit area. Shout out to the Metro Detroit area. True that. Yeah. Everything. Listen, it always comes back to Detroit, no matter where we're talking about. It's all about that bass. Yeah, I'm a fan of the ass myself, Punk Bottom. We're all witnessing the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people are so stupid that they think you're the stupid one. Vigilante will soon be based. Double entendres for the win. The entendre. Because I'll tell you about the bass guitar. I want to get a bass guitar. But it was just because it came off somebody said something about the ass. Got an LOL from Rough Girl. I never identified the British broadcasting company. Bad choice. Not sure if Ascension Dildo was going there, Wookie. Rockford, Illinois. That's why I stick with polar bears. Yeah, real racism is incredibly retarded. All right. I think this is real racism, man. I think this shit, and they keep doing this shit. It's not just Martin Luther King, Sean King. It's not just Rachel Dolezal. It's Christian Rosen Gonzalez. It's a little bit of AOC. It's this fake. Listen, there's nothing wrong with you being what you are. That's why I said what I did about Kristen Wiig. Looks good for older women because you know what I mean. They usually lie to you like this. Who you are is cool, man. There's nothing wrong with being average. Most of us are average. There's nothing wrong. It's okay to be white. Or in this case, the lady's Jewish, so she's not technically white. But it's okay to be Jewish. It's okay to be white. It's okay to be Hispanic. It's okay to be black. It's okay to be gay, straight, whatever. It's okay to be you. It's okay to be you. Stop trying to be something you're not. And no, I don't have a bass guitar, but I do have a fake 808. So there we go. A fake 808 drum and like a sub kick. Because I'm modern, so I don't have a bass guitar. And I don't watch South Park enough to know the reference. And no, Finra has to go. You've been great in the chat. Appreciate you being here, man. Got to work in the morning, and I know it's late over there. So have a good night, Finra. Yeah, they are all frauds. Racism is bad for your health. Everyone saying the Z saying goodbye to Finra. And yes, please sub to him. We got him to 100 subs. He started making content. We own more subs. And many of these weird women try to talk to little girls, like that one who was trying to convince people she had been harassed by a Supreme Court nominee. I'll talk like little girls. They should talk too. Yeah, they do. It was okay to be you a few years back when someone else is running for office. Now it's not okay to be you. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Man, actually, you know why I'm saying that? I'm gonna play a video that I saw on YouTube, and hopefully I don't get claimed for it or whatever. But I thought it was funny. I'm just gonna play the thing. StreamYard, leave us all alone. We didn't ask you. We really didn't ask your opinion on this shit. You really didn't. Okay. Oh no, what the hell just happened?
What's up, bro? How you been?
Okay, there we go. So this is just to go on. This is one of these online YouTube comedians. I don't really know him, but this is to the people who just can't accept being normal. This is not necessarily the same thing we did, but it's off the same energy. So just play this. Hope we don't get struck. And if you hear silence or this clip is gone for future playbacks, it's because we were claimed or struck. So I just want to give that disclaimer. So thank you anyone who's watching the playback. But it's okay to be yourself. And this is just funny. So here we go.
What's up, bro? How you been?
Bro, I'm good. People complain about shit these days, but I'm built different.
Okay. Different how? What's up?
No, you just tell me you're built different. You look very normal to me. Bro, I'm a different breed.
Of what, a chinchilla?
I've been hitting the gym. You've been hitting the cereal. I'm just built different. I'm on another level.
So you're telling me you're Bowser?
Then why are you always acting like a Goomba? Being built different ain't about looks, it's about how I do stuff. I'd love to see some blueprints. Schematics. Talk to the supervisor. Bro. Because if you're built different, normal must be real fucked up. I can't explain how I'm built different, I just am. You are not on SEAL Team 6, my guy. You are not Steve Jobs, bro. Leonardo da fucking Vinci. Motherfucking Charles D'Amelio, nice to meet you. Wow, what a pleasure. Why you gotta bring Charlie up? Call up your boy Bob, the builder. Because he's the only motherfucker that can build something so different.
No, we don't need to bring Bob into this.
Call him up. Call up Bob. Can we fix it? I don't know. Bob said we can fix anything. Bro, you regular. And that's okay, but don't come to me and say you're built different when we both know you built normal. Bro, you built normal. Fuck!
All right. That's that. Okay, I guess Andrew Russo's the guy. I saw that once. I thought about all the motherfuckers who can't just accept being normal, being an average motherfucker. It's okay to be an average motherfucker. It's okay to be what you are. I just thought this is a funny thing. Everyone wants to be built different. Everybody wants to be special, therefore no one is. And so that's just a thought I had. And shout out to Andrew Russo, I think the name of the comedian, hitting the cereal. I've been hitting the cereal. Normal is 2021. Very good point. It's the SP South Park when they were getting a Christian band together. Funk that. You know what I thought about? A Christian band would probably be the most punk, like a legit Christian band, probably the most punk rock thing you can be because they hate Christians right now, like a reverse Michael Jackson. Is this the racism? We convince entire generations that being white is somehow negative. Some of these SJW types would not do anything not to be white. Man, but you say that, but they worship white people. They worship SJWs with all their bluster. They just like they worship Trump. They worship Trump in reverse. It was a negative, but they worship that orange motherfucker. They worshipped him. That's why they could not kick. That's why he lived rent free in their heads for 4 years. They worship white people. That's why Meghan Markle, she one of the wokest people. She fucking married the Prince of England. How white do you get? That's the whitest human being you could get. She married him. AOC. I think, is she fucking a ginger? They love him. It's okay to be white. Funk that. Okay, yeah, identify as built different. What's the music? It's from a soundtrack. That might get me. I didn't think about it. The music might fuck with me. Yeah, it is awesome. KMFS. When I saw it, I'm like, I'm just so glad this skit is made. I'm so sick of it. I'm built different. Oh, you're not. Like you said, you're not on SEAL Team 6, my guy. You're not built different. It's okay to be built like everybody else, but you're not built different. Just because that's a catchphrase right now doesn't mean you're built different. That's another thing. People see some shit on the internet and just immediately do it. Everyone's saying you're built different. I'm built different. Hashtag built different. Get the fuck out of here. Noise. Be yourself and all you can do is circa 2005. That's when I graduated, 2005. Watch Oh Yeah by Kyle Dunnigan. Maybe I might check that out. Don't forget to smash that like button. Yes, please smash. Please like and share and sub. But Vig, I be special. Wish I was special. So fucking special. All you bastards, I got a brand new box of Marshmallow Fruity Pebbles screaming at me now. I had some Blueberry the other week. It was good, man. It was really good. But one thing, though, I need to get the more bougie milk, man. I got the regular generic moo cow milk. I don't know what they doing to those moo cows. I got to get the organic. I don't want to get no fucking soy juice and call that milk, or no almond juice and call that milk. But they got, I don't know what's going on in this milk, man. It ain't the same milk that I'm used to. They didn't put some other shit in it. It's all bumper sticker platitudes. A lot of it is loose cannon. You are special, dildo. The exceptions that prove the rules. Yeah, he's not white. He's orange. I say, he's orange motherfucker. Ironically, there were decent pop punk bands of Christians back in the late 90s. They would disassociate themselves with that label and just wanted to play good music. Wouldn't suggest worshiping me. You'll be disappointed. Yeah, don't worship the flesh. Don't worship anything in the flesh. Trump was the bull in the China shop like Johnny Rodden. Wasn't Bull in the China shop the name of either a Rage Against the Machine album or song? No, Buzz on Parade. That's what I'm thinking of. I remember that Punk Waddle. So Pebbles identify as fruity now. LGBTQ friendly Pebbles. Yo, they had an LGBTQ friendly Kellogg's cereal. It looked delicious though, man. It was just nothing but rainbow colored marshmallows. I forgot what a few. It was for Pride Month. Should have got a box. Johnny Rotten is based as fuck. Maybe. Yeah, a little creep. We listen to a ton of Radiohead. Not that early Radiohead. Like post weird Radiohead. Like OK Computer and after. Not that the first two albums weren't good. Anytime I hear someone say I built different, it was an 800 pound. Well, and I said, yeah, a little too different. Well, I guess in that case, she's not wrong. She's built different. By the way, have I been loud this episode? Like I said, I've tried something new with my my miking situation. Now I lower myself too much, and I'm trying to make sure I'm not too loud, but I'm still like better. Everyone here is perfect as they are. There you go, rough girl. Oh, nice. Then you got the emojis. I'm not sure. A handful, really, but in response to this comment about Christian punk bands now. But yeah, my whole point was that like being a Christian now would be more rebellious than being punk, where everybody now has tattoos and piercings, when all that's been normalized. To say, no, I believe in the Most High, I believe Jesus died for our sins, is shocking to a group of people because they are a half a step away from considering the Bible to be hate speech. Get organic milk. Maybe that's what I need to do. Pebbles identifies as Coco over here too, which sounds like a Muppet. Was Creed a religious group I loved higher? You know what? That's a good question. Because I thought, a lot of people when they first came out called them religious, and then they didn't want to take that mantle. Yeah, Buzz on Parade, Wookiee supremacy. I got it wrong, but I corrected myself. I never did beat that Psylocke level, and I want to do more retro gaming. I'm going to have to separate those streams and get my OBS game back up, because I've had so much issues trying to stream games on StreamYard. Friends don't let friends listen to Creed. Creed had a couple good singles. Had a couple good singles. And now you good, Vig. Creed was cringe. They had a couple cool singles. When arms wide open. It's a cool little pop single for the early 2000s. Oh, shit. You want Arms Wide Open or WAP? Shit. I take Arms Wide Open over some WAP. I mean, I would like some WAP, but the song WAP, no, I'd rather have with arms wide open. I know I'm not singing it well at all. More than No Effects. Nah, they don't. Sitting next to Scott Strapp. Oh, you sat next to the bass player. Speaking of worshiping people, I've never in my life seen a bunch of people can't take a little criticism of someone they watch on YouTube. Geez. Yeah, we've seen a lot of that, haven't we? Really? We had them here. Our fathers identify as a baked potato. Well, listen, we have people politically identifying as different races. So that's all A-okay. You would have had a feast when I lived in. KMFDM is the drug against war. I'm not sure about that. I don't know what that is. KMDM. Okay. Cool story, bro. LOL. I'm not gonna lie, OBS is hard. Oh man, the hair Vig goes with his WAP obsession. I'm not obsessed with WAP, man. You know what it really comes from? Being an old fucking man, and I'm like, I can't think of a hot single that was hot last year that was like stupid as fuck. And so being old, you just will WAP because I'm old. I don't even know. I don't know. I could not tell you what the number one song in America is right now, or the past like 7-8 months. Couldn't tell you. Creed was considered Christian because they said Jesus in one of their songs. I see. Cool. You never need someone to walk you through it. I might need to be in that private stream. I'll try. I've done it before. My first streams on this channel were through OBS before I even learned StreamYard. It's been a minute. Just send you the link. Okay. Thank you, bro. Thank you. It's a few games I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get Twisted Metal. I'm trying to get some Coding. Trying to get Wild Arms. Let me at the Rainbow. I'd stuff the Creed story at parties. It's a band. Oh, they're a band. I see. I never heard of them. Have friends whose parents took away their CDs because they weren't religious enough. By the grace of God, their ears were saved. So that's how, you know what? That's how we got this wokeness. There's a generation of kids who grew up with crazy religious parents who went too hard. There's a scripture about that, and I can't remember it because I'm bad with names, about being too righteous. There was a way of explaining. Listen, a lot of this shit, a lot of this music, and a lot of pop culture turned out they were right. It is demonized. So let's at least give the ultra religious parents that much. A lot of shit is legitimately demonized. But you had people who were so self-righteous that they were so restrictive that next generation after wants no restrictions on anything. And now look at everything that you restricted as the gospel. You know, when I was a kid, you know, people, if anyone came out as LGBTQ, it was controversial. You know what I mean? It was a big deal. Now, if you're not LGBTQ, you're something wrong with you. You know what I mean? Like I said, they're trying to teach people at an early age that that's the right thing to do. So there's definitely something, you know, those people who felt so suppressed, so pushed back by the religious right parents, they became the woke idiots, or the fathers and mothers of the woke idiots that we have now. And kill motherfucking Depeche Mode. I like Depeche Mode, and I'm obsessed with WAP. I think every man likes some WAP. I think he's referring to the song. Oh my God, thank you. I'm about to lose it trying to figure that out. Yeah. OBS is complicated. I'm always having issues. There's some hoes in this house. Yeah, known Christian song. Is that Luke? Some hoes in this house. Lemmy. Oh boy. Shout out to Lemmy. No, known Christian artist Lemmy. Something like that. Yes, Twisted Metal for PS1. I would love to play that on stream. Yes, it's one of my life highlights. Pretty cool, man. Still trying to do retro games. Couldn't figure that stuff out. And Elgato collected to this and that. Man, I'm just as confused. We got some more stories. I'm not just reading your comments. We still got a few more stories to go into before we get going today, because we missed some shows. And actually we missed a big topic I wanted to talk about, and I'll probably talk about that next. Because I haven't touched it. It's just because I missed a few episodes, technical issues. So we'll get into that next. But let's see what else you guys have to say. Yeah, I've had issues streaming, and I want to do retro gaming too. I got a CRT TV to play older game systems, but it's expensive, so I kind of want to get an EverDrive, which is also still expensive. Refuse to use Instacam for reasons pertaining to my sanity, but we'll figure something out. I'm on a lot of platforms. Yeah, I'm not on Instacam either. Bad religion equals chronophobia. Thought wokeism was a new religion. It is. I've seen them doing like prayers and all sorts of shit in wokeness. He went out Sandcast's first CD sent Creed CD into the bin. I think that's how it went. Not quite disease, not quite. Pertaining, shrugs. Let's see. Not the song. That's the reason to stay away from Twitter. Oh, need. That's what the D comes from. I think that's DJ Godfather. Oh man, that's a Detroit guy. I think there's some holes in this house. See, I couldn't tell because a lot of that music, that ghetto tech, they just played on the radio, so I didn't know it was only playing in Detroit. So because that's some shit they would have played in Detroit, like radio at dark, after dark. I don't even know how to post on Twitter, so confused, and I just put up snapshots. Be right back. Hey, appreciate it. You can get a converter to play on modern TVs. I know I could have. I know they got frame meisters and shit like that. I just wanted that authentic experience, and I think I went the wrong way anyway. Those girls from Arizona State made me want to jump through the darn TV. I don't get the reference of Arizona State. What happened to Arizona State? It's an American business leader giving a speech while back in the speech, he lamenting that today's generation will be building the Starship Enterprise instead of angry about feelings. Yeah, but they weren't taught to. How are they going to build the Starship Enterprise with the education system they got? How are they going to learn? What math? They're learning Common Core. They're learning all this crazy shit. They're not learning enough math to be able to do that. I want a CRT to play yeah, there's games like that you need a CRT for. Yeah, follow Wait Down on Twitter, and I know he's talking to Run Rough Girl, but you can all follow him. And there's his Twitter. DJ Dion holds in his house. Okay. I thought it was God. Well, you said Godfather. But yeah, I remember that song. Barely posts on Twitter, mostly retweets, checking for video posts. Oh yeah, shout out to Vinny Art. Gotta show some respect. Great stream later. Hopefully you can check back the playback Wookiee Supremacy. Give my regard. If you're talking about Vinny Art, give my regards. I like Vinny Art. I have every Nintendo game I could ever want. Dope. Brightest Day. Dope. Emu Paradise still works. Cool. Been playing Xbox Connect games. I figured that'd be fun to stream because I don't know how to dance. A lot of interactive. I fucked up with DJ Dion. Still Detroit Ghetto Tech though. Okay, so yeah, still same thing. Still same thing. And that, like I said, that was a song you would just hear 10 o'clock on any radio station in Detroit, and I grew up with it, so I didn't know it was only some Detroit shit. Have a GameCube Dolphin collection. I'd be interested in that. I have an actual GameCube and an actual Genesis. Oh, I did see that. Arizona State, those girls recorded that library shit. Recorded themselves harassing some white dudes in their safe space. Yeah, that shit is fucked up. And yeah, same to you. I'll have to try on my own. I've been meaning to just spend a lot of time with OBS, not just with gaming, but me and you even talked about it with the green screen. I got to work with that. And I think you girls, I'm sure you mean you guys, referring to the MF for Cocktail Lounge. I hope we entertain. Math and science is too difficult. Grievance studies, gender studies, menius studies, social sciences are much easier. And never forget that they're trying to take out competencies at all. They're trying to take out math and reading AP classes. They're trying to take out standardized tests, which there's a lot of issues with standardized tests. Probably should be taken out for other reasons, but they're trying to take out competency requires for math and reading and sciences. So they're trying to make us dumber in the name. Oh, it's racist to expect black kids to be intelligent. What the fuck? Well, how the hell did Neil deGrasse Tyson happen then, you dumb bitch? Connect Star Wars has a dancing mode. There you go. I saw that shit. Kids with Police Lives Matter stickers. Is that what it was? Going old school. Pac-Man Disease. I got all the games. Love Connect. Connect was popular for a little bit. You remember when? Something else is getting taken out, potentially. So, Marvel promoted, what's her name? Victoria Alonso, who suggested dropping the Men from X-Men title. It's outdated. Now, she said this a while ago, but it got a lot of hype of Victoria Alonso actually being promoted to the president position. So it was, like I said, it's 2019 is when she said it. But because she's been promoted, that story has kind of come back into the mythos of pop culture. It's weird it's getting covered by Fox News. I guess they're starting to understand the culture war matters. But Marvel recently promoted Victoria Alonso to a president position, and they got a lot of different presidents at Marvel. So it's not just it's one of many. But years after she suggested men should be dropped from the X-Men title. It's too problematic. And there's the Ascension Dildo probably knows her well. I know some Dildo does. Here's Victoria Alonso, president of Marvel, called the X-Men title outdated. Went home to her wine and her cats. Marvel addresses the role of women and superheroes in the most recent X-Men movie, Dark Phoenix, which is the third or fourth time they did the Phoenix saga shittily on film. And X-Men in particular have a high amount of female thing. It's called Mankind, Miss Victoria Alonso. Woman. Men is in the word. These people hate men so much that the idea of that name being for human, just that M-A-N or M-E-N could ever be in succession just destroys them. It angers them. You would think with Whoa X-Men and all that other shit where they use X and stuff, that the phrase X-Men, which honestly doesn't necessarily imply gender, it implies a group of potentially mixed gender people. You would think they would like that name, but no, because it existed before they got power. Therefore, it must be some sort of white supremacy or homophobia attached to it. Anyway, by the way, women are always saving the men around here. Mystique said, "Oh, did she say that in the film? Isn't that awesome? That's great." I'm not gonna read that shill shit. She's dynamic. She's a great partner. She's a she has a lot of cats in box wine. XY X-Men. Just drop the X and put a woe instead. Triple X-Men. Call it the XX-Men. Yeah. Math is indeed racist. RFR. Rough Girl is overall this crazy stuff. I miss people just being kind and fun. Kids are mean for no reason, and they don't know how to have fun. They're not taught to have fun. They're taught to be all angry. Oh, second cousin services as well. I see. Sorry for your cousin, man. I can't. She's somebody I can't imagine has she could have a guy in her life, but I would very few men would want that, especially because she's this all powerful, frumpy looking bitch. You know she's a headache. She just seems like she's already, she probably has an ex-wife and ex-husband. Yeah, Hugh Mexon, Human X Lexman, X-Men crossover with a space sci-fi. How about Human? No, Human? Or maybe Human works. Badass, hell badass. Oh, you got pics of your studio. I didn't see that. I need to check on the Twitter or the Instagram. X-Mam. It's Ma'am. There you go. XMXing. Does this work? Is this okay, Victoria Alonso? X-Moron. Moron is gender fluid. Oh, boy. I don't have a Wii or emulator. So you guys talking about that. When will this world learn that men are needed in this world? Life is better with y'all. Yeah, I don't know how anything's supposed to be built. Like how are cars supposed to be built without men? How are houses? How are all these other things supposed to be built? How is sanitation supposed to work? How is it supposed to work if there was gender equality in these roles? Certain versions of dolphins can be configured to we. Had to refute studies about families with a father and a family structure compared to don't talk about it. Absolutely. Okay, so you guys are talking about modded weeds, X snowflakes. Yeah. So yeah, I didn't talk about it. But yeah, it happened. And it's more where that comes from. The thing is, and we've debated, how we feel about Marvel movies. They still have the grasp of normies. That's the reason Shang-Chi is so successful. Normies still care about that Marvel brand. Fuck. Say what you will about that evil fucking mouse. The idea to have Mandalorian go into Loki and have each week, and technically still continuing with What If, but I'm not keeping up as much in that. And I don't know if the hype is quite as much as there was for Winter Soldier and Falcon. Not quite WandaVision until toward the end when they fucked it up. But basically, not Marvel, Disney had a plan from the first episode of Mandalorian till really now. It's still going on. Every single week, there's been a new thing of either Marvel or Star Wars. Every single week, mostly Marvel, but every single week. And that's from that point, their platform has grown like almost double. They're in the 100 millions as far as users now. Now, granted, it's Disney math. We know Disney math ain't always trustworthy, but if those numbers are to be believed, their plan to use the MCU as normie bait has worked. And so we know that, a lot of normies will just, there's going to be people on Twitter, which does not indicate anything in normies, who are going to fight you on this Womexin or whatever the fuck they end up calling the X people. The mutants, I think, was what they were talking about. And they're going to start to normalize normies away from this. But I think a lot of normies are just going to back, well, it's a new generation. We're just going to do what they say. Yeah, creative Disney math. Disney is the new mafia. They kind of are. Whoa. I knew a girl that ended up dating a guy. She ended up being his adopted distant cousin, so no actual blood relation. Whoa. Oh man, I lose it without a growth sense of grandparents. What happens if you need a cute guy? Oh, you're related. Yeah, I've heard of stuff like that, and that's where that Punk Water story came from. There are roughs everywhere, and we're all related, even the white ones. Oh shit. I have modded PS3s and 2 GameCubes and Xbox 360. That one was rough talking about games. All right. We're starting to wrap up. We got a couple stories. This is a story that we would have gotten into at the Culture Crime Fighters, not for the technical issues. But David Simon, the creator of The Wire, which I think is the greatest television show ever, even with his kind of lackluster 5th season, he pulls upcoming HBO series from Texas over a Heartbeat Act. So listen, man. This is what I mean about culture. This is what I mean about normalizing something. They've taken, back when I was younger, people thought of abortion as wrong inherently, right? People thought, it shouldn't be done. It was a cultural no-no, and it was a cultural no-no to even imply or talk about or encourage, right? But now that's been flipped. How dare you not encourage? I've covered on early episodes on this channel, early streams on this channel, where they had a comedy, a rom-com or whatever the fuck it was, about a girl traveling across state to get an abortion, and that was celebrated and praised. And then a actual biography of somebody who worked with Planned Parenthood and changed their mind on it, that was vilified. And it's always dangerous, it was called, by showing somebody's perspective, their personal perspective. It was a woman, and it was showing her perspective of being one of the earlier members of Planned Parenthood, and her feeling like differently about abortion afterwards. But that was dangerous, and the comedy was important and necessary, I believe was the name of the thing they said. So this idea, the cultural flip on abortion is in and of itself a trip. But back to David Simon, as Cinch Dildo says, The Wire is the greatest. I still use buy for one, sell for two as a phrase. I use a lot of stuff. You come at the king, best not miss. A lot of stuff, man. The Wire was great. But I don't like this, man. I don't like this. So I am a libertarian. Or if you gotta give me a political label, I call myself a rippertarian. Sometimes jokingly, even though I don't agree 100% with anyone, maybe Carlinite, which I got from Aaron Sparrow. I can't remember, he said Carlin-esque, something like that, in reference to George Carlin saying, it's a big club and we ain't in it, to both parties. But if I have to put my hat somewhere politically, it will be in libertarian. And so by law, if you're talking about the law, am I in favor of the law? I don't necessarily like to legislate my beliefs. But for fuck's sake, I don't support this eugenics that abortions become. I wish the conversation included that 20 million black kids of the 32 million black people who exist, but have been aborted since the 70s. I wish that was a part of the cultural conversation. It wasn't just anyone opposed to abortion bad. It would say, hey, this has had a eugenic effect. This is a quantifiable, and there are connections to eugenicists and racists in the formation of Planned Parenthood. If you acknowledge these things as a part of the conversation, it will be a more well-rounded conversation. But you can't do that because that's dangerous to your narrative. So David Simon, I'll read through this article. You know what I mean? I'm absolutely cool with I love The Wire. I love a lot of stuff. The stuff is written. But I gotta disagree with you vehemently on this. And I gotta say, hey, are you okay with the eugenic effect? As somebody who wrote The Wire, which was good at showing how politics and political decisions have nefarious effects on the communities they're supposed to help, are you okay with essentially encouraging something that's had a quantifiable eugenic effect? If I had a question to ask David Simon, who I believe to be a pretty intelligent guy based upon his work, that'd be the question I would ask him. What did you what were you guys saying? Oh yeah, the rough thing. It's pretty funny. Men are outdated. Terrible news from your people. I thought it would be good news because if we're outdated, then I mean, what else are they going to use? Tried to mod a 360, messed it up. I'm so scared of doing anything electrical. 360s were difficult, even if you knew what they're doing. They was a mess. I mean, I remember getting a red screen of death or red ring of death. Did he do it or HBO? We'll read and find out. How about that? But it looks like he did it according to the reporting. 360s is the pain, even if treat CPU. No, men will never be outdated. What sucks is being a single black woman. Most of the men are either gay or gun shy. No, they're not mostly gay. There's not that many gay brothers. There's a lot of them, but it ain't that many. The whole response to the heartbeat bill shouldn't surprise me at this point. It doesn't surprise me at all, but I gotta still speak my piece on it. I'm a little surprised that somebody like David Simon would go that hard. I mean, I know he is a lefty, but he just seems based and grounded enough not to. And am I on Streamlabs? I'm on StreamYard. Is my Stream? I used to have a Streamlabs donation. I'm not. Maybe that's coming up instead of the whole one. Find an older guy with military experience. You'll be all right. Yeah, you probably will be. Should be able to get one even at 420 months. Bro, they're trying to do, and shout out to the Wii reference. They're trying to do. I've heard of post-birth abortion. I guess a thing. Like there's some they hate. Listen, there's a segment of the powers to be that really hate children in a very pure way. Like, they really hate them. Not too old though. Yeah, good luck to anyone trying this dating shit. I'm checking out. This is StreamYard. Yeah, we are using StreamYard. Hence the little thing up top, which I could probably pay to get that logo to go away. I watch so many videos of streaming. I don't want to come out of the box like these ghetto black YouTubers. My grandma had a sub for that. That's sad for that. So basically, wrote a story for a specific place about a specific idea. Sometimes generalizing an idea to apply it to other schools of thoughts is just too hard. Maybe. Hell VW from Nancy. Yeah. There's a black YouTube. There's just black YouTubers. There's a black YouTube culture. In the same way you consider the fandom a group of YouTube channels that are connected. There's like black YouTube, I guess. And yeah, there's for when you get stuck over there, you might start all over with YouTube because it sucks. It does. A lot of it does. None of it's cool. But a lot of it does suck. It shouldn't surprise me, but I also don't try to predict too much how people respond because they still will oppress me. Post-birth abort in return for that murder, I think. Man, I'm telling you, look, it's a thing. So let's actually read the article. We're doing all this generalization. Wire creator David Simon announced he's pulling an upcoming HBO project filming in Texas over the new state's newly enacted Heartbeat Act. Heartbeat Act declares that a physician may not knowingly perform or induce an abortion on a pregnant woman if the physician detected a fetal heartbeat on a pregnant woman, or if the physician detected a fetal heartbeat for the unborn child as required Section 17 or 171-203 failed deforming test. The bill also allows individuals to bring civil action against any person who knowingly performs and induces an abortion in violation of the subchapter, knowingly engages in the conduct, aids or abets the performance, inducing reading legalese, including paying, reimburse. Okay, so basically, what the fuck is this? What in the Illuminati is this heart thing? So this is why you don't trust either side. But in response to the Heartbeat Act, Simon took to Twitter where he announced he would not be filming in Texas. And no, this is David Simon did this. He wrote, if an employer, this is beyond politics, I'm turning in scripts next month to an HBO nonfiction miniseries based on events in Texas, but I can't and won't ask the female cast, oh boy, to forego civil liberties to film there. What else looks like Dallas, Fort Worth? Civil liberties. So what you're saying is, how dare anyone say that, like I said earlier, I'm in favor of birth control being more normalized and being readily available to prevent unwanted pregnancies, to prevent abortions, right? I'm very much in favor of this. So why can't any of these, you're telling me for the time these girls are filming, how long are they going to be filming this series? Are they even going to be filming it long enough to potentially get pregnant and be able to abort their child You're saying, oh well, I don't. The female staff won't have the right to kill their babies, so I can't film there. What? It is based on Dallas, the city of Dallas. He said leaving the state of Texas has nothing to do with political efficacy. I beg to differ. He responded to a tweet from Dallas Creative Industry Office, said laws of a state are not reflective of the entire population. Not bringing production to Dallas only serves to disenfranchise those who live here. That we need talent, crew, creators to stay and vote, not get driven out of the inability to make a living. So they're trying to pander to this shit. Simon responded, "You misunderstood completely. My response is not rooted in debate about political efficacy or the utility of my boycott. My singular responsibility is securing and maintaining the civil liberties of all we employ during the course of production." I'm sure everybody on the left is just all about civil liberties when it comes to people and the decisions they make with their bodies. We know how tolerant the left is when it comes to that, don't we, class? You fucking kidding me? Sure. If let's say that these people in the enforcement of their civil liberties chose not to take certain proposed medical, chose not to make certain proposed medical decisions, I don't know if they'd be on us production. Just a guess. Just a guess. I don't know enough, but just a guess. Because y'all can't sacrifice their health. Whatever, man. Jesus. How to lose respect for somebody quickly. Employing people in any profession and ensuring their civil liberties wherever you ask them to do their jobs is unrelated to fuck mug spawning empty rake horse shit on Twitter. Thanks goodness. Filming things seems unrelated to, yeah, like, okay, like David Simon, you're full of shit. You're completely full of shit. You're 100% full of shit. You understand that? 100,000% full of shit. So there's no way, and that's why you're going back to it with people on Twitter. It's because you know you're full of shit. No, I'm not gonna try to read these names. I don't anticipate anything other than that. Even if our employees require full control of their own body and choices, if a law denies this, further criminalizes our attempt to exercise the control, we should have filmed everywhere. Exactly what you're expecting another. Oh, you said Diana a bunch of numbers. Expect the entire female crew to need an abortion while there. This is so condescending to women, it doesn't realize it. So this is a woman. And of course, you know those male feminists, they don't want to hear shit from women. You think I'm misogynistic. You haven't met a male feminist. But it's not, if it's not, okay, I'm not going to go back to all this assholes Twitters because it just be endless. It's endless, man. It's endless. I lost respect for David Simon. I will say this. A lot of people on the left and right think they're just so smart. They're too smart for discourse. And that's what he's coming up of. I think that's one of the biggest issues of the right, believe it or not, is, oh, we're too smart for, not necessarily too smart for discourse, but too smart to, we know we're right. Oh, we know we're not racist, so we don't have to prove it. Okay, well, now everyone thinks, now they can throw an egg at a black man and it's okay. But yeah, in the case of this guy, he's too smart for discourse. He's too smart to for anyone to break down all that's wrong with him. YouTube uses that failed circle jerk to group us all together. What your pigeonholes all possible to get out of. Yeah. Let me see. Alex Jones starting to look less and less crazy by the minute. Yeah. Yeah. Google Black YouTube. It's about the all black rugby team. They're claiming newborns don't have personhood, so it's not murder, crazy shit. So yeah, us essential dildos aware of this shit. Yep. That's the thing. Everyone saying hi to each other. Oh, disease. I wouldn't go this far, but some of these mothers are pretty wicked. I can't say it. I say pull the kid out and throw the housing away. That's what the child will want. Jesus. Some people on the left aren't, but Simon seemed like he was. Twitter is indeed a dumpster fire. So many things that can be taken and used right afterwards and such. You don't want to get prayed, but they have plenty to do that before conception. Absolutely. You can't take this trash seriously. Same people screaming. This is what I was referencing earlier. Same people screaming civil liberties. Same sheep screaming fuck your freedoms on jabs. Absolutely. That was my point earlier. I am very sexist, but I like it. I believe men should do things, and I gladly cook and look good. Well, there you go. I wish more women thought that way. I wish they did. Not that, I mean, listen, it's like the whole feminism was wrong. It was wrong. All feminism has done is destroyed the family. It is actually taken away from women's rights, because you're right. You don't have the right to play sports anymore unless you want to get your head caved in by its ma'am. So there you go with that. It's also, you don't have the right to be a housewife. You can't be a house. The culture won't allow. Why ain't you working? You know what I mean? Even though you are working, you're helping build the next generation. That could, if you did meet somebody who could take care of you, it would be disallowed or culturally looked down upon. Just you wanting to be the caregiver. Once you culturally do that to generations upon generations upon generations, you have what we have now, where now we have they did that on purpose. Like I said, they didn't, this generation with the LGBTQ shit, they weren't the first generation that they worked on. This was not the first generation they societal engineered. They societal engineered our parents, let alone us. But they made us a generation of single parents so they could raise the kids via the TV, the internet, and the school system. And you're too busy just trying to keep everything afloat, and you can't raise your kids. Or you're too busy with the family court, you can't raise your kids. That was by design. That's why they think they can slide all this crazy shit in our schools and our pop culture and everything. The neighbor snitching part of the heartbeat law is very troubling, though. Yeah, that is troubling. I will agree with that. That was pretty creepy. And that's why this is why I don't like the state at all. Once y'all start legislating shit, y'all couldn't help to fuck things up. No, I don't really like that creepy part of it. You can just not allow places to administer abortions. I already said abortion enough. Abortions in the state of time. And listen, man, I'm not, my hesitancy about illegalizing abortions, even though, again, I'm not a favorite of the eugenic effect that it's had on my community and just people in general, but particularly Black people. But the reason I'm not hardcore get rid of it is because I recognize that even with all the birth control that exists, all the, you can always make decisions to not let people who don't like you bust a nut in you. But even with all the stuff that exists, it's still going to happen. And I'd rather motherfuckers not use crazy methods to try to get rid of children. I'd rather there be something that so they don't have to, I mean, the hanger shit is a joke, but that's literally what people did back in the day. So, okay, if a girl in Texas wants to get abortion, she could just go to the next state. You know what I mean? Yeah, what's up? But I mean, you should also not let Brando's nut in you. Like, that should be the reason that law is so you can have a personal responsibility to say, and you should not, if you're a guy, nut inside Randos. There's consequences to it. And there's nothing wrong. There should be consequences for your actions. But yeah, the snitching part, I'm never in favor of that shit. And I don't see why that was added. And yeah, it's a fair trade. Worked well for centuries, referring to what Rough Girl was saying. It's always sexy men can ask for. Get smiles from one rough girl. You kidding me? I was raised for this, cooking and cleaning, making a home. They can slam me when I start streaming. I don't care. Neighbors doing what? Really freaked me out during the lockdown when California was telling neighbors to snitch on each other. Yeah. And that's why I'm never a fan of that in no matter what side it is. Yep, that's just the first step. And that's adding to the separation and the division, the balkanization. That's the word I'm looking for. More balkanization. I'm not a fan of that, Ascension, dude. Good call, good catch. I think these people are bad guys from Scooby-Doo, and they want to get rid of meddling kids before they have a chance. Maybe. Yep. Where's the responsibility? Yeah, Rando Nutica. These girls are ending up pregnant like the stork is doing it, man. I saw some shit on social media where a girl said, I wish we could choose our baby fathers. Bitch, you can. You can and you do. So stop choosing asshole loser baby fathers and stop fetishizing that and letting these, or if you do, just make them put a rubber on, or if you don't do that, get on the pill, or if you fucking don't do that, do the plan B shit, figure something out to not get pregnant. You can always do that. You can always do that. And we are getting towards the end. We've gone almost 2.5 hours. We got a couple more stories to go. Let me see. I've done everything. Only black woman skydiving for years. Been there, done that. It's time to relax and settle down. So I'm in too. Wear rubber for fuck's sake. Absolutely. That's why I said don't nut inside these randos. It's half the battle. It's a lot of it's on men. So, you can't. Don't trust a big button to smile. Fucking Belle Biv DeVoe told us that in the early 90s. These guys still nutting in these randos. But no one is safe. This is speaking of people who nut in randos. If you need to learn from somebody, not to just nut inside crazy bitches, learn from fucking Johnny Depp. If there's a lesson that you should give the lines, and Disease says, never. And enjoy jumping out of planes for some reason. I'd rather jump out of planes than jump into a modern relationship. But if you should learn, and that's not what this article is about, but you should learn that from Johnny Depp's situation. Don't nut into rando people. Yeah, I like big butts, and I cannot lie. Hopefully we're talking about still the plane jumping. I know you guys are military guys. Sprays your handles, Disease, far as not using rubbers. Oh boy. All right. Johnny Depp says no one is safe. He slams cancel culture, slamming the Dems. The actor said the cancel culture as a movement is so far out of hand. I can promise you no one is safe. Not one of you. No one out that door. No one is safe as long as someone is willing to say one sentence. I agree with him. None of us in this chat are safe. Anything we say can and will be used against us in the kangaroo court of public opinion. Don't you know everybody in this chat, myself included, could lose our job just for basic stuff we say in these chats? All right, actor Johnny Depp. God damn, it's already 8 something, almost 9. We've been going for a long time. Actor Johnny Depp warned against cancel culture Wednesday ahead of receiving an honorary Donasa Award at this year's San Sebastian Film Festival. According to Deadline, Depp said no one is safe from cancel culture, and he calls it a movement to stand up against it. Oh, look, there's a video on Rumble. Let's can we hear it? Got a little here. Okay, let's see. Can we turn this up? Jesus, we cannot. All right, we're gonna play it. Hopefully, you guys can hear any of it.
With the truth. And that's all you need.
Okay, it's too low to really be audible. I'm sorry. It can be seen as an event in history that lasted for however long it lasted. This cancel culture, this instant rush of judgment based upon essentially what amounts to polluted air. So far out of hand, I can promise you no one is safe. And he was asked and because of his exile due to Amber Turd. Now one of you safe, now one out the door, no one is safe. Takes one sentence and there's no more ground. The carpet has been put. It's not just me that this has happened to. It's happened to a lot of people. This type of thing has happened to women, men. Sadly, at a certain point, they begin to think it's normal or that it's them when it's not. He referenced a high-profile libel case, which he did lose, unfortunately, but it's hard to be a libel case against a fucking newspaper in general. But they called him a wife beater, and we know that's not the case. Doesn't matter if it's a judgment per se. It has taken some artistic license when there's an injustice where you believe it's you or someone you love. Stand up, don't sit down, because they need you. As a result of cancel culture mob, Warner Brothers dropped him from Fantastic Beasts franchise. They did have to pay him a lot of money, though. And Depp has a $50 million defamation lawsuit against Amber Heard. And she has a $100 million counterclaim that's going to trial next year. That's a mess. During the press conference at the festival, Depp slammed Hollywood. He says Hollywood is certainly not what it was. The studio system, the grudge matches, the pandemonium and chaos of cinematic releases to streaming. It's a case of no matter what, I'm going to get mine. That's where these people are coming from. Absolutely right. They realize they're just as disposable as I am, some more so, he continues. Large corporations taking control of these things. As someone who takes part of the creation of cinema, how much formula do we need from the likes of studios? How much competition do we need as audiences? I agree with everything he's saying. I think Hollywood is grotesquely underestimated the audience. I agree with that. And I wonder if they could get Johnny Depp for FNT. That'd probably be the biggest get outside Alex Jones. He also said he was worried about his attendance in the festival. He didn't want to offend anyone. He went on to praise the event director for Jose Luis Rebordonos. Sorry for mispronouncing the brother's name. And Mayor San Sebastian for the undying support. Not buying what has been for far too long. The notion of me that doesn't exist. I haven't done anything. I just make movies. Johnny Depp concluded. Okay. So that's what we said. Yeah, it's bullshit, man. Complete bullshit. Got an LOL from the weight down. Can't when I'm at the wind tunnel. Oh, disease. That's not good. Got it spread it. That's wrong. Johnny's lucky that Trick didn't get pregnant. Yeah. Holy shit. He'd be, man. We heard what happened to fucking Dr. Dre. He'd be fucked. He'd be fucked. You're spoken like a true Californian. Very much so ahead of the game. I lost my job a year ago. Hi, I win. Oh, sorry about that disease. And you got the weight down the left. Cancel culture, Black Lives Matter, they all suck. Absolutely. On my way to Vegas, black lady told me never to call her ma'am again because it's the equivalent of calling her the N-word. What? Blew me away as I called him again. What? So a black lady said, don't call her man because it's like calling her the N-word. That's wild. That's wild. So you can't even respect your elders because they think it's offensive. That's wild. And hell, Nerporeal, life form. I don't know if we're beautiful. Shout out to Nerporeal, man. And yeah, you show respect. A lot of people are big on showing respect. What do you call them? Say ma'am, say mister, say missus, say yes, say please, say thank you. And you're just doing that, and they're like, nope. Depp is a hard man to get. You got to take a dump in his bed first before he come on the show. I think they could get him. I think Depp has to know of, even though he's not quite FNT, he has to know of Tug's existence. There's no way he doesn't know who that umbrella guy is at this point, because I don't know how many people have defended him to that extent. But bro, this is something that, as a man, I need to say. Never forget that Johnny Depp, who was one of the biggest, wealthiest movie stars on the planet, was still with the woman that cut his fucking finger off. He was still trying to make it work with a woman that cut his finger off. This is from women too, but I'm mainly for men because I think I guess both genders. Yes, I said both. Can simp too hard for somebody they think they love. But he was cool. If Amber Turd never took a shit in his bed, they might still be together today. So if ever you find yourself in a fucked up relationship, you gotta know when to leave. And Johnny Depp going through all of this shit, a lot of it's fucked up. Had he known, he knew before his finger got cut off to leave, but he didn't. He didn't. Because he's out there like disease, trying to bust nuts inside everything. It's a problem. And that's why Elon got to bust nuts inside Amber Heard. No, my handle is Ruff because Ruff is my last name, and I'm always going to capitalize it. I like Ruff. I'm a rough girl. And yes, she did. That's crazy to me. Crazy. And happy birthday to you. I can't sing. I can't do the karaoke thing. But hell, Latino Slant. Happy birthday. He says do better. I'm trying to do better. It's a makeup stream. Appreciate Paulie. I know you just had your big birthday thing. I lurked a little bit in the chat. And I think I sent the super chat. Pretty sure I sent the super chat. Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday. It depends on what finger. See, that's the problem with guys. We think with the wrong head. We will destroy ourselves for some badussy. Look, it was fucking Boston George. Captain Jack Sparrow willing to destroy himself over some badussy. He was down a finger. She probably could have kept going. It was the shit in the bed where he said, nah, that's it. I'm done. We gotta stop that before it gets to that point. And Pump Wado is back. He had to get food and start laundry. We're actually gonna end it in a second. Amber must have had good. She must have. And hell yeah, I'll send him to Mars like Elon. Oh boy. We're getting wild with One Rough Girl. Please don't cancel the chat, One Rough Girl. Hola, Ascension Disease. You got everyone saying hi to Latino Slant. But we're actually getting towards the end. He looks like he's about to literally go there and jump. Yeah, he doesn't look too good. But we're getting towards the end of the stream. We've gone 2.5 hours. It's going to end on something positive. We had a lot of negative stuff, a lot of, not everything was negative. Some funny stuff, some fun stuff. We always want to end on a positive note. This is kind of a mock Vigilante Williamson show. And he never heard this phrase, never stick it in crazy. A lot of us haven't heard that phrase, or we ignore it. We ignore it and keep it moving. Let's end on something positive. Let's talk about something positive. The positive news story of the day. This is you should see the headline. She prayed for help during the flash flood, and Marines showed up. 45 seconds later, the phrase often says, "Don't he do it?" This is one that falls under that category. A woman has reunited with the Marines who rescued her from a flash flood in Arlington, Virginia. Is her name Virginia? Virginia Waller Torres said a prayer to be saved from the deepening flash flood waters outside of Arlington National Cemetery, and the Marines showed up 45 seconds later. She said it was like they were sent from somewhere else, a higher power. Waller Torres told, her name is Virginia, she's in Virginia, told WUSA 9, I thought I could die, a truck could hit us, and it was tough. Somebody heard me. They were all Marine Corps body bearers, unit which performs funeral services at the cemetery. Oh, man. If there's anyone who was going to help us, it was us, a bunch of 6 foot, 230, 240 pounds guys, said Captain Mitchell Wojitu. I cannot read that name. I'm sorry, struggling. Call him Captain Wojo. Waller Torres reunited with Captain Wojo or Corporal, or maybe Corporal Wojo and Corporal Jared Tosner at the Marine Corps barracks in Southeast Washington on Monday. Both Marines were met with an embrace and a high five. What the Marines didn't realize in the rescue is that Waller Torres' grandfather was a World War II veteran and buried in Arlington, and her father was in the Navy in the Persian Gulf War. She herself was born in the Panama Canal Zone. Okay, so she's a military brat. I guess it makes sense being in Arlington, Virginia. My father said in the Gulf War, he did, and he continues to have so much respect for the Marines. Since in the video, he called me back and started crying because it was so emotional for him. So, wow. So, I guess this is her. So she's stranded and Marines show up. Wow. I'll play it. If I'm sure I've got enough to get copyright.
The Marines are going to help us.
It was during the deluge Thursday when Virginia said a prayer for help, and the Marines showed up 45 seconds later.
So she was stuck. Yeah, I see why she was worried about being hit, being on the freeway and all that other stuff. Holy smoke. Holy smoke. And I see people are going to, now you got some kids going to call you, and I don't think I got any kids. Stick it in crazy and tell them I'm VW. Good luck, man. Good luck. Unless you're like 800 pounds, I don't think anyone's going to believe it's you. And blessings. There's a fun chat, good catch up. I appreciate everyone. Yeah, this is definitely fun. Sorry for missing the Thursday and Saturday stream. Appreciate catching up with you guys. And one rough girl, you leaving? Nope. Chilling. Yeah, vets. Okay. Well, we're all leaving in a second. So she's a white nationalist. Oh Lord. Hell, have the stream on mute here for the algorithm and on the phone with a friend. Saw one rough girl. Like, I can stay in here and crush on her. Yeah, everyone's been crushing on one rough girl. She has a pretty avatar. She's a pretty young lady. We're trying to stay Me Too free in 2021, going on 2022 into 2023. We're trying to stay Me Too free, so we don't want to go too hard. And about hell, Bruce Lombardo, how are you been? How's your health going, man? How you doing, man? I'm very bad at checking up and staying in touch with everyone. That's not an avatar. That's me in the photo of me. Well, I know it's a photo of you. You've said that, but I just used the term. I don't know what else. Profile pic. I don't know. I thought the term was avatar. So yeah, that's not avatar. That's me at the photo of me. Yeah, I whatever you want to call it. Sweetie, you're just amazing. I don't call women amazing that often. See, everyone's crushing on one rough girl, and I don't believe in that Me Too crap. Well, all you gotta do is change your beliefs. one day. Or shit, you don't have to believe in shit. Some other person can say it on your behalf. Some other person can come in and be offended on your behalf. But no, I'll get canceled one day if I ever get popular enough. In any event, this show is not canceled, but it is indeed over. We're going to play the whole thing. Do you guys remember this? It's been a while since I played the whole thing. I want to thank everybody for being here, man. I'm sorry it took me so long to stream. And I want to thank One Rough Girl. It's a surprise I got me too. Watch out there now. All right, shout out to One Rough Girl, Bruce Lombardo, who came late. Nothing wrong with coming a little late. Part Waddle, the wait down. Where's Cinch and Dildo? I see Disease, Hell Disease, Cinch and Dildo. I was trying to get everybody. And obviously, Paulie Latino Slant. Hola, wait down. I'm saying hola to everybody. Again, happy birthday, Paulie. Let me see. Who else was in the chat? A lot of people were in the chat. And yeah, I need to do better. Paulie's right. I need to do better with memory. Nerdporio Lifeform showed up. How can I forget Nerdporio? Fimmer the Ice Wolf was here earlier to bring up another name I almost forgot. So thank you all for being here. Let me see. Looks like everybody else. If we're going to get all, I think that's everyone. Oh, Arfar. Shout out to Arfar. Shout out to Nancy. Shout out to Pat S, who I think was here for a little bit. So if I forgot your name, please blame my head, not my heart. Yeah, obviously better to come late than early. There you go, Sister Dilla. You get it. All right, and KMFS. How did I forget KMFS? What's wrong with me? Shout out to KMFS. Everyone, have a fantastic night. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. Have a great Sunday evening. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate on me.